Hi guys, Martin here. So another one of these live broadcasts, hopefully a little bit more organised than the last one. A few people saying that they're going to watch. We'll put it out on Twitter, on Facebook, on pretty much everywhere I can. I gave it the name of Pledge-a-thon. Why not? It's just something funny to do. But good news. The Kickstarter is a week old. Well, it was a week old last night. So 21 days left now. So 3 weeks left, and just shy of £1,000. So it's tracking it. I think about 19%. Let me double check that. Just had another pledge in, and we're now tracking at. Be useless if I had all this. Yeah, 18%, so it's £932 pledged, 34 back is 18% funded, 21 days to go. And the purpose of the video tonight is to cover some of the ground again that we did cover last time. I don't want to repeat the whole 2 hours again. We'll want to talk about a few things again. Just keep awareness going of the Kickstarter more than anything. So the video is obviously out on YouTube. I'm going to record a video tomorrow, which will condense certain sections of tonight's conversation, and then I'm going to put those out periodically over the next week or so, because I did a little bit of a test. I'd been heavily pushing it every other day. I was putting it out somewhere, whether it be on Daka, whether it be, as I've already said, Facebook and Twitter and YouTube. I joined Reddit. I don't think I've used that site very often. It seems a very strange one. But the stuff was out there, and I then stopped everything on Monday. I didn't do anything, and I wanted to see what happened. And sure enough, as soon as I stopped pushing the Kickstarter, I didn't get any pledges Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. So it took 3 full days without pledges, which you could argue was a good move. You could also argue it was a very bad move. It is what it is. I'm not going to lie. I expected, not expected, that's the wrong word. I hoped that it'd be further on. If I've got 3 weeks left, then I'm quarter of the way into it. So I was hoping that I'd be on 25-30% funded at this point, and I'm only just marginally down from that. Very, very good friend of mine has told me that he's going to pledge £250. Doesn't want any reward for it. He's not got any interest in wargaming. He's a good friend of mine. He wants to see me succeed, so he's going to donate, as he calls it. But he's going to do it through the Kickstarter, and that instantly will knock that percentage up. It won't get us to 25%, but it'll get us closer to it. Just checking, sorry, message there. Some people saying that they want to watch, some people saying that they're going to come on. Got 3 viewers now, actually, just in me literally looking away there. So any of you guys that are watching and want to come on live chat, I know and Paul Preston, 10K Painting Studio, was on with me last week. He's going to come back on. He was on Monday night with us, and a friend of mine, John McLeod, Prickly Terrain, he's going to come on as well. But he's got visitors this evening, and again, I wanted to check out what's the crack on a Friday night. I normally work on Friday night. I'm driving a taxi at the moment, so that I've got complete flexibility, and I decide when I am and I'm not working, which means I can put more effort in to sorting the store out, and I can pick work up as and where I need to, and it gives me that flexibility. And I normally work a Friday night, but with it being bank holiday weekends and the week before payday, I don't think it's going to be busy tonight. I'll be honest, I'm knackered. I've got a 2.5-week-old baby, so I was awake most of last night, and I just thought I don't want to go out tonight. I'll try and do a hangout, see what happens, and if there's enough of you out there, then it'll be great. If people join into the conversation, fantastic. If people don't, then that's fine as well. Let me actually somehow I'm probably going to regret doing this, but hey ho. So I do that. Copy. am going to try something which might not work. Go into video. No. Alright, WarGames is streaming live, so let's click on that. This gets really freaky now because it opens a second screen to mute it. Don't get it wrong. But in the comments, I'm gonna post. Right, cool. So guys, if you are watching this, then obviously you're watching it via YouTube, which is great. In the comments on YouTube, there's a comment from me, which is a link. If you click on that link, it will allow anybody to join this Google Hangout. And that's literally anybody, anywhere in the world. You don't have to be in my circle, you don't have to be even somebody I know, or want anybody that wants to join. If you're coming on just to try and sabotage things, I'll just kick it out. But if you're coming on and you're going to be constructive and you're going to help things, then everybody's more than welcome. So please join. Otherwise, it's just going to be me talking. Those of you that know me and have watched my videos will know I haven't got an issue with talking. So it's better if there are other people just to help me out. Star Wars mug in hand as well. WarGames t-shirt on. We're liking this. Can I? Actually, when John comes on, you can mess around. So you have to turn the camera around so it can be the other way around and you can read it properly. Anyway, doesn't matter. So what we're going to talk about for 2 hours. We're going to talk about WarGames, funnily enough. Things are moving along further. I've had some fantastic news today with regards to money that I've been waiting to release, and I've touch wood, total going through, which is part of my finances, and I've had a lot of conversations over the last few days. Although I haven't been very active on the social media side of things, I have been active with the actual store. I've got to say at this point to those that are watching, this is absolutely rammed and just crammed full of constantly. I mean, I'm trying to have this conversation with you now, and I've got ideas running through my head and checklists and things that I need to do and things that I need to remember to write. It's insane, literally. I think when you're opening a business, you know whether or not you're doing the right thing or not, because it should literally be all you think about. Yes, I think about my family. I've got a girl who's nearly 3, and then I've got a 2.5-week-old daughter as well. So I think about them and I give them time, but nowhere near as much as I probably should be doing, because my main focus in my mind is constant. It's almost tiring. It's all consuming. This business, this store is literally taking every ounce of energy out of me, which is a good thing. I'm not complaining about it. I think it is actually a really good thing, and it's there for a good purpose, because it means that I'm dedicated to it at least. Now today, I had a couple of conversations over the last day or two. I've been speaking with Rob Alderman of Prodos Games today. Rob's the CEO and the sales of Prodos Games, who do Warzone Resurrection. Now, that's a game I've seen but never played, and it's doing fantastically well in Europe. Don't know what it's like outside of Europe, but European wide, it's doing really, really well. It's a sci-fi skirmish game. and by all intents, it is a cracking game. So I was always going to be interested in that, but the big thing that attracted me to speak to Rob was Aliens versus Predator. It's finally got through all the stumbling blocks with 20th Century Fox. They're finally allowing it, and I can only imagine the logistical and legal nightmare that you have to go through when you're messing with something as big as Fox. But it's launching on the 30th of June. Pre-orders to have arrived with retailers for about the 20th of June. And I've been speaking with Rob today. I've got a copy of Warzone Resurrection on its way to me, so I can get that painted up for when the store opens. And I'm going to be placing a large order for Aliens versus Predator. I don't think it's worth only having 1 or 2 copies in stock, because the desire is there for this game. The minis are absolutely fantastic. When you look at some of the quality of the stuff that's out there, and some of the other big movie name games, I won't label them as such, but you'll know what I'm talking about. The minis are a bit lacking. They look like the sort of things that we were dealing with 15, 20 years ago. These are fantastic. They really, really are good. And I can't wait to get my hands on it, basically, and have a go of it. I need to get a copy, get it painted up. And yeah, say Warzone Resurrection's on its way out to me, like a demonstration copy, which is going to be for the store use. I will get a demo copy of Aliens versus Predator, but obviously that's not on its way to me as of yet. Rob's a great guy. I've been chatting with him over the last couple of weeks, and then quite a lot today, sorting out orders and things like that. So definitely on board with Prodos. I'm already on board with GW. Good evening, Paul. Hi, mate, you okay?
You alright, Martin?
Yeah, not too bad. Don't know how much you've seen or not seen of what I've been rambling on for the last 10 minutes.
Absolutely nothing. I was just fixing the immersion ether.
All right, all working now.
Don't know whether I fixed it. It went warm in the shower, so it was I suppose it's semi-fixed.
Yeah, that's a good sign, isn't it? I was just going over. Obviously, there's only been me on camera so far, so I was just explaining how. But I mean, I've said it to you anyway, where my brain is literally tired, because all that's going through my mind at the moment is WarGames. Everything I'm doing, I'm always thinking about WarGames at the same time. But I've been talking with Rob Alderman today, who's the head of sales at Prodos Games, and he's sending me out. Yeah. Well, he's sending me out on Warzone Resurrection, so I've got to get that painted up, and it's another one of the demo games for the shop. And Aliens vs Predator got an official launch date of the 30th of June now.
30th of June.
Yeah, so I should have my copy for the 20th of June. And then, I mean, it doesn't matter if I don't get mine for the 20th. The store's not going to be open on the 20th of June. But in fact, 20th of June is absolutely useless to me, because I'll be at Warhammer Mania anyway. But it gives me more time to get things painted up. Darby. Darby's just joined us over from America. His
Hello, Darby.
Muted, and I don't know whether that. Oh yeah, he must be on mute. He's typing. That's fine.
Yeah, I just didn't want any background noise and stuff for you guys, so you should mute just in case.
Yeah, no problem, mate. You feel free, just jump in where you can. I'll let Darby, whilst you're on as well, I know I've sent you a message saying thank you, but honestly, the support that you're showing me, mate, is absolutely fantastic. You've shared everywhere. Places that I didn't even know existed, you've shared, and genuinely, I tip my hat to you for that. Thank you very much.
Not a problem, my pleasure.
And it's weird. Do you know what? I'm going to use you as an example actually now, Darby. You're going to set a standard for people. And I always ask you this question, and I always forget the answer. You are in the States, aren't you? You're not Canada. You are in the States.
Canada, yeah.
Canada. You are in Canada, right? So I always get it wrong, and I confuse myself. But you're all the way out in Canada. I as a business, I'm not going to be able to benefit you one iota. From a store point of view, I can't help you. My YouTube channel, however, is going to become a better channel, and therefore that benefits you as a subscriber. And yet, with very little benefit coming to you, showing all this support from the other side of the world. That's the kind of thing that I thank people for. If everybody can sort of follow your example, then this is going to be a successful project. And again, that's another play out to people.
But the thing is, with the store and what you're trying to do, it's not just a store for locals. It is a community thing. It's gonna the YouTube channel is an extension of WarGames. Yeah, your Twitter page, your Facebook page will be extensions of WarGames. You know, it's not to say that someone like Darby, who's based out in Canada, WarGames could take off and you could start running competitions, for example, through Facebook, through YouTube, benefiting people worldwide.
That's true, and I think actually when I was last on a live chat with Darby, Jerry and Brian, I think that was talked about, how it can actually help people outside of the EU. In essence, it's like that, where whether it be battle reports, they're just better to watch, all competitions and tournaments that people can run into.
Well, you've mentioned comparing what you're planning to something along the lines of mini war games. What they're running, they've just posted a video an hour or two ago in regards to running a full week of battle reports, pumping 2 battle reports out each day just for 40k, along with all their other content that they're planning on doing, because they've got that much stuff.
It's impressive
at the moment that's just waiting to go out. So they're just going to trial it for a week, see how much they can pump out, just because they've got that much backlog. And Mini Wargaming's based in Canada, not mistaken. Yeah,
Canada.
So I'm based in Liverpool. I'm watching Mini Wargaming. I'm not benefiting from the shop they had.
No.
But you know, I'm watching their YouTube stuff, so it's
and
the
that's
same
right.
principle, so to speak.
And it is all the other bits that go with it. Plus, when we were on Monday night, James, one of the questions James asked was, will I be doing a commission service? I said, well, yeah, I'm not going to focus on it heavily at the beginning, because I'm hopefully going to be that busy trying to run a store that I'm not going to have too much time for commission work. Well, pardon me, that coffee's just gone down the wrong way. But hopefully, I will be able to offer a commission service on a similar sort of vein to what Blue Table Painting were doing. Not as a big an operation, because I think that's a separate business, that, then, if you're going to go that big. But
yeah, what they do is just, it's on a different scale.
Yeah, they make the business just like conversion and painting, don't they?
Yeah.
It would never be a primary business for me. If it got busy, I'd have to set up a secondary business.
Yeah. Well, from what I understand about Blue Table Painting as well, the volume that they do it at, I've never used commission service. I do offer one myself, as you're aware of. Where I've never used another commission service, but I have one of my friends has. Oh yeah, one of my friends has actually ordered from Blue Table. He got quite a bit of 4-year-old stuff done by them.
Right.
And when he got it, it wasn't to the best quality. And the guy
a few people have said that.
Yeah, the money he paid for it, he wasn't really happy with the end result. It was slightly beyond the tabletop standard. You look at it that way. But the guy, Sean, his customer service is spot on. You can't fault him. He said, I said, really sorry that you're unhappy with this. Sent him a partial compensation and refund and a couple of boxes of extra miniatures that he had. So give him his due on that type of situation.
Yeah,
but when you're running
was dead good like that, Sean, to be fair.
Yeah. When you're running a commission service to the scale they do it, you're not going to get it spot on each time. But so what you're saying is just easing yourself into it. You're going to get the quality, not necessarily the quantity.
It's not something that I particularly want to do. What an idea I had the other day. As you know, I just keep getting more and more and more ideas. I can have built into a website, and I spoke to the web developer, and he said it's possible. So you imagine you're on my online store and you're buying a Riptide, for example. Say that because you play tab.
Not that I haven't got enough.
So you buy a Riptide online. When you go to checkout, it'll give you an option. Do you want to just buy the box? Do you want to buy it built? I have it built for you. Do you want it built and painted? Or do you want it built, painted and supplied with the appropriate foam? So rather than just being able to buy the model, it gives you those options. So rather than having a separate business that's selling the commission build and the magnetisation side, you can pay for build, you can pay for model, or you can pay for build with magnets, or build and paint, or build, paint and foam, and it would incorporate the whole thing into there. The prices are that standard that it would automatically know. The website would know how much to charge for each model, and I don't know whether or not. When I thought of that, I thought I don't get any commission work done myself, but I thought that would be quite handy. That actually, where you can click on it, and it'd almost tempt you to have it built for you because it's just an extra click, isn't it?
Yeah. It's you know what? It's not bad, to be honest. You obviously, me and you've played a couple of games together. You know, I've got a tower army.
Yeah.
I'm sick to the back teeth painting Fire Warriors. So if I could order a load that were ready painted.
They'd be assembled, mold lines removed, assembled, and then painted. And as soon as you've clicked painted, then somebody, i.e. me, would then be in touch with you and say, all right, well, send us over a picture of one that you've got to match the colour scheme, or send me your list of colours, or give me your idea, so you can work on it that way. But it's a silent salesman. That's what I call it, a silent salesman.
If the option's there, someone's bound to click it.
Well, that's it, and it costs me nothing to have it there. So I think that might be something that I put on. And it also makes me different than the other 9 or 10 UK web stores that are out there, and that's a big thing. I've got to be different than Wayland and Elements, than Firestorm, than Darksphere, and the Outpost. And
there's one big way you can be different with the 1 or 2 of them, and actually deliver the stuff on time. That'd be handy.
Yeah, we won't name names, but I might have just said them. But yeah, all competition is good competition.
No such thing as bad publicity.
Well, I don't know, but yeah, it's another idea that I wanted to throw out there. Going back to
I think with something like that, it would be possibly not a first, as you said. You don't want to be bogged down. So if you get 300 orders in your first week, all one commission, job's done.
Yeah, I'm employing you at that point, mate.
On top of the pro bono stuff I'm already doing for
you. Yeah, the more on loose.
Thought it would be.
Which is again, I'm just refreshing the YouTube page. Got 7 viewers. The reason I'm refreshing it is I want to see if there's what I didn't do the other night. I didn't check whether or not there's any comments coming in. Conversion models. Hello mate, Warzone is such a great and very easy game to pick up. I'm glad you'll be stocking this in this shop. But I know you'll enjoy this game as well as painting models. Nick, cheers mate. By all means, Nick, if you're about, I know you were on the other night, feel free to jump back in. The invite should be there somewhere. Or just click the link above. Say anybody is welcome. And so yeah, we're on 7 viewers. I don't know who the 7 viewers are. The Q&A box on this video is open, so please either let me know who you are that's watching, either join into the video call, or type into the questions or the comments. Comments I'm going to go to more sporadically, but on the Q&As, just say hello. Let me know that you're watching. The minute I tell people that I know they're watching, 2 of them have just dropped off.
Big brother is watching you.
But yeah, jump on, guys, and let me know that you're there. Put some ideas and suggestions forward. And more importantly, this is a pledge-a-thon, and I'm not going to beat about the bush with it. I want your money. Simple, hard fact. No nice way of putting it. I want you guys to give me £1 or £2 or £1,000. The more money you give me, the more reward there is in for you. The pledges are quite simple, but I'm going to spend 5 minutes now going back over what those pledges are in a more Martin manner, rather than just trying to put them in a video and being mindful of time. So £1 to £9, you get my eternal gratitude. Anybody that's already pledged £1 knows that they've received a message back from me saying that I genuinely appreciate it. And if you watch my videos, you will know that I appreciate that. £1 is massive because it means that you've actually took the time to log on to Kickstarter, maybe even have to create a brand new account, put your card details in because they don't take PayPal for some obscure reason, and you've given me £1. You don't have to. There's other things you can spend your £1 on, and I genuinely do appreciate it. At £10, you will receive 5%. I can't change this on Kickstarter because there was already a backer on it by the time I went to change the wording of it. It won't let me. So at £10, you get my gratitude again. That goes right throughout all of them. But what you also get is you get 5% extra off your first order. Now I'm going to be 10 to 15% off retail on GW, for example. So that's 5% on top of that. What you're also getting is, in effect, it's almost like a raffle ticket. It's like a virtual raffle. As long as my project is successful, that means I'll have hit at least £5,000. For every £1,000 I've hit, I will randomly select one pledger or pledgee, whatever the correct terminology is, and that person, or those 5 people minimum, will receive £75 worth of product from my store. Now I can't sell outside the EU, but I can give away whatever the hell I want. And I'm not giving you a store voucher to spend online. I'm giving you £75 worth of product that we'll talk about. So the likes of Derby, obviously sat in Canada, or if it's one of the guys over in Australia or whatever it might be, you would still have the chance of getting £75 UK worth of products, and it will include free shipping to anywhere in the world. So that's actually, for £10, that's a massive chance. And it depends how many people back into what your odds of winning are. If I get £10,000, then that's 10 people will win a £75 voucher, and £75 with a product. Mike, evening sir, we'll be watching tonight. I enjoyed the last one. I hope all is well. Fantastic, Mike. I'm glad to have you on board. Hope you're enjoying your it's not gardening leave, actually. I don't think that you're on, but your time off before you start your new job. And again, the same applies. Maybe if you want to click the link, you're more than welcome to come live. But I understand, obviously, if you sat in the living room with the wife and sort of pretending to pay attention to her when actually you're watching me. But yeah, that's all well and good. Delete that one off now. Done. Well, that's your £10 pledge. The more I think about it, the more I realise just how good that is. Your 5%. So if you spend £100 in store, then you're getting an extra £5 off per 100. And £100 as a web order isn't actually all that big, to be fair. I think the average web order, speaking to all other guys out there, it's about 80-90 quid anyway. So you're getting half of your pledge straight back, and then the other £5, it's like buying a raffle ticket for £5, which we've all done. Anyway, to move on from that, so 50 and 100 are very, very similar. £50 gets you a year's membership to the store, which is great for people who are local to Southport or within driving distance. I'm going to go on to memberships later on anyway, but you're going to get 12 months membership, which would normally cost £100, and you get that for £50. If you pledge £100, you get 2 years membership, so you still save £100. But then the second difference, and where this applies to everybody who's not local and is going to be using the web store, you will get either 3 at £50 or 10 at £100, 10% voucher codes. So on your first 3 or 10 orders, you will receive a further 10%. You can work the maths out on that yourself, guys. It's not hard to actually get your money back, regardless of your free membership. Free membership has already saved you money. But if you can't use the membership because you live in London, for example, and you're not planning on getting up to the store every week, then you would never take a membership out anyway. But if you think about the discounts and how easy it is to get that money back again, if your average order was £100 and you've pledged £100, then over 10 orders, you'll have got your money back. So it's not cost you anything to pledge, but you have helped me out and you have helped my business and this community out in doing it. At £250, it's membership for life. So you're getting the membership there for life, and obviously you can instantly see how much benefit that gives you. And also for the first 2 years from the day I open the doors, you will receive a further 10% on top of the already discounted prices. The only time these discounts don't work, guys, is on limited edition items. That's for obvious reasons. But anything else that I sell, as long as it's not a limited edition, anything that I sell will be at a discounted price, and you will get a further 10% off, whether it be 3 of them, 5 of them, or 2 years worth of them. The £500 pledge, and I put this one on there as a bit of a test of water, if you like. I wanted to see what happened. I thought it's either just going to go really quick or nobody will touch it. So you're going to get your £250 pledge, which we just spoke about. But on top of that, I'm going to pay for your hotel accommodation in Southport. I don't mean a little sweaty B&B. I mean a nice hotel in Southport, where you'll get breakfast, lunch and dinner paid for. You get to come and hang out with me and the guys in the store. And that's me, the staff, and any of the guys that are in there. Paul, you may well be in there that day, who knows.
More than likely.
And then we'll be up in the loft filming a battle report with a game of your choice. It doesn't have to be 40k, it can be 40k, it can be fantasy, it can be anything that I can play. And by the time you come up to me, I should be able to play all of them. And if you tell me what you want to play, I'll make sure I know how to play the game. But you get to challenge Martin and just get to have a game against me that will be recorded professionally. I don't mean with a shaky cam and some sort of dodgy lighting. I mean this loft is a very spacious, bright area. I'm going to have static cameras set up, filming as professionally as I possibly can with good audio. It'll be a good long battle report with the prominent dice rolls involved and some movements involved, so you really will get a feel for it, and you'll be on YouTube. So whether you've got your own channel, you can film it yourself, bring your own camera up and film your version of it and put yours up, but you'll also get mine. And it's basically you're paying £500 to come and have a weekend at Southport, where you spend a bit of time with me and the guys in the store and have a look what things are and so on and so forth. But I've limited it to 5 places, and I just think it's either something you really buy into or something you're just not going to be interested at all. Whichever way you look at it, it's £500, it's a lot of money. So I've got to give you something back for it. You will get, by the way, and I don't think I put it in the video, you get one of these t-shirts. So you get a WarGames t-shirt, just for the fact that you've come up. And on the back, mine says WarGames across the back, but on the back it would say I challenged Martin. And then, to be fair, if you win, I'll get it reprinted and sent down to you saying I challenged Martin and won, or I challenged Martin, and we'll just leave it as that, and that means you lost. and obviously you'll get the other memorabilia from the store, things like you get a WarGames mug and pens and what have you. They're not big cash incentives, but you'll get those. And if you do win, then I would sort something out for you. I don't know what yet, so I'm not going to commit to anything, but again, those that know me, it would be something fun. And then there's the big pledge. I mean, £500 big, to be fair, but then there's the massive pledge, £1,000. And again, I put this one on there thinking this is either going to fly and I'm going to end up with £50,000 funded on Kickstarter, or nobody will touch it. It's an awful lot of money. And bear in mind, most of us do not tell our wives or partners how much we spend. So trying to hide £1,000, even on a credit card, is very difficult. But if you can manage it, For your £1,000, you get membership to the store for life. We've already spoken about that. And you're going to get cost price products for 2 full years. So whatever I'm paying, you're paying. And it's literally almost as simple as that. So I pay, I think it's something like £13.40 for a box of Space Marines, which retail at £25. So you will only pay £13.40 for your box of Space Marines. I've had a couple of messages over this pledge level, and what I can't do is supply you with your own web store stock. I can't give you a trade account through me, so you can't give me £1,000 today and then run a shop for 2 years without opening a bricks and mortar store. Games Workshop would just shut me down, so I can't do it. I wouldn't specifically put a limit on how much you can buy, but it becomes very obvious when you're buying for yourself and to feed your hobby addiction, and when you're buying just to sell. So if you were ordering £500, £600, £700, £800 worth of models every month from me, I'd start getting a bit suspicious at the point where nobody has time to be building and painting and playing with £800 worth of kit each month. And I'd start thinking then, are you selling them on eBay or whatever? And I can't allow that, because Games Workshop will just shut me down and then I've got no business left. So that doesn't mean, oh, if you spend more than 50 quid a month, you're not getting it. It's a reasonable thing. There's an element of trust involved in there. If you take the models off me, I expect you to use them for yourself, not to sell them on. That's not what that service is there for. It's, if you're going to spend a couple of grand a year on the hobby anyway, which I do, in all fairness, I probably spend about 4 or 5 grand a year on this hobby. Scary amount of money. Sounds a lot, but then add up what you spent in the last 12 months and all of a sudden you might get there. And so for the likes of me, it would make sense. If I was spending 4 or 5 grand. Go on, Paul, you were going to say something.
I think I spent £1,000 on Forge World this weekend, so.
Yeah. But see, now that's where my issue. I can't supply Forge World. I can supply you with Forge World, but it's the same price as you're paying at Forge World, and I don't make any money on it, so I'm not getting involved in that yet.
Yeah.
Watch this space, though. I think you might find within the next 6 to 12 months that us independent retailers will be selling Forge World. Just with the certain movements that happen, and I've seen it in business before, they're pulling even more away from GW. They're obviously one big company, but they're standing on their own even more. They've got their own store now, rather than running through the Warhammer store at Warhammer Wales. They've opened a presence in America, so they've got a base out there now. So I think
they're adding to the, from what I understand, especially I've gone on a podcast with guys in America now and then.
Yeah.
From what I understand is Forge World are incorporating themselves into the GW website. So rather than it being forgeworld.us.
Yeah, you see, I think at that point there'll be trade terms there. It won't be the same sort of discount that I get off GW stuff.
No, there's no way that type of discount.
But do you know, even if I sold it at retail and gave you free postage at 30 quid, I'm better than Forge World then, aren't I? So watch this space with Forge World. But on GW with these, and not just GW, we're talking War Machine and Hordes, we're talking Batman the game, Alien vs Predator the game, Bolt Action with X-Wing, all these other games, all the board games that, I mean, the likes of Mike, who's just been on there, he's just dropped a copy, he's a big board game player. I know those games cost £50 to £100 a game. They don't cost me £50 to £100 a game. Obviously, I make a profit out of them, even after I've cut a bit of margin down. But that's what the £1,000 one's there for. If I can get £1,000 or £2,000 pledges, it would be amazing. It would do this campaign the world of good. But I understand it's a huge amount of money. So I have to give you something back for it. And again, I'll give you, because I've said I would get you with 500, you can have a t-shirt and a mug as well. Because if you give me £1,000, I'll give you a t-shirt. You can have a WarGames t-shirt with your name on the back of it if you want. But that's the pledge levels. they're all worthwhile. Whether you are, these are not just things that are for people in Southport and the surrounding areas. They're not just for local people. There is a bigger benefit for local people because they've got the membership option and they've got that side of things. But people travel the length and breadth of the country to go to tournaments. I myself, I'm going to a tournament in 4 weeks today. I'm going to Throne of Skulls at Warhammer, so that's 120 miles away in Nottingham. I'm then running Warhammer Mania for the 2 days after that. And there's a lot of people who will be watching this who are going to Warhammer Mania. So we're willing to travel to go and play games. So there's nothing to say that the membership might not ever be used. That's what it is. I'm going to talk about memberships in a minute, but before I could do that, I'm going to give you two guys who are on just a little quick chance to talk while I go and check the comments on the other side, and you two talk about what I've just talked about and sell my pledge levels for me. I want, just before you do, I want tonight, within this 2 hours, I want live pledges. That would be absolutely fantastic. I'd feel like we're on proper TV, like a big charity event. We're on £932. If we can surpass £1,000 tonight, it's going to be fantastic. I'll even sing a song. Because if I say that, then no,
I gotta stand up
nobody,
and dance or something like that soon.
No, because at that point everybody will withdraw the pledges because they won't want me to sing. I'll pick my guitar up and sing and play.
No, I think we might need Ant and Deck for like a live pledge-a-thon.
That'd be brilliant.
Yeah, but no, seriously, the way I worked it out, I was looking at all the pledge levels. I mean, I'm local to Martin, so I get benefit of the membership for the store. The way I worked it out is what I spend on my hobby per month, per year. Any pledge level over £100 where you're getting the discounts back, where you're getting the additional 10% off. I'm not one to buy squad here, squad there, squad there. I'm starting an Eldar army, so I'm buying £300 or £400 worth of Eldar. I'm not going to be that guy.
So your mate's right next to you, Derby. He plays Eldar, but he plays Dark Eldar as well, so that's alright. And he plays nice Eldar. He's not a cheesy Eldar player.
But I'm not going to be a cheesy Eldar player. I had the old
it says the man who
strike force
riptides with a far sight on play.
But have I ever beat your Dark Eldar?
No, that's true.
That's true. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Obviously, I'm starting an Otway army, so I'm going to be investing quite a bit of money to start off with. Now, if I get 10% off at Martin's store and then also an additional 10% off, I'm going to get my £100 that I've put in back twice over the way I buy. Now, people would be different from me, but if you look at it from that point of view, if you bulk buy, I do like a specific time that I can dedicate to doing my hobby. I can't go and play every single week because of work commitments. I can't spend every single night painting miniatures because of work commitments, but I do tend to get a month off at a time where I can go, right, all the housework's done, everything's sorted out, I've decorated the room, now it's my time. So I'll buy and paint, build and paint my army, and then I'll go play and tend to get trounced by Martin's Dark Eldar at the moment. But that's why I'm buying 300 jet bikes all with scaffolders. No.
But you still wouldn't have as many bikes as me.
Probably not. No, but if you look at it like that, I'm going to get my money back that I'm putting in to my pledge, whatever level I'm choosing to put in on that. Plus, I also get the benefit from the membership because I'm local. But still, the discount vouchers alone are worth it for me. So if you're willing to invest an initial £100, you could potentially save yourself £200-300.
Well, and that's the idea.
Cleverly.
Yeah, that's the idea, and none of these pledge levels, don't mistake me for a fool. Anybody who's watching, none of these pledge levels are costing me any money. The £10 pledge levels will cost me money. It's going to cost me £75 per £1,000 pledged. But it's not actually costing me money because it will come out of the Kickstarter fund, won't it? So, yes, I'm giving £75 back, but I'm getting a lot of £10 in. I'm getting more than £75 worth of £10 to give it, and then the hotel stay in Southport and the meals and the video. I record the video, putting the time to that. Yes, that costs me money, but again, it's involved within the pledge level. But then the discount vouchers and the memberships. Membership doesn't physically cost me anything. It's not a money spinner for me, membership. I'm going to go into it in a minute anyway. But membership's not there for me to make money out of, and it doesn't cost me anything to give a free membership. The extra discount doesn't cost me anything. It will wipe out most of my margin, so I won't make any money, or I'll make a couple of pence rather than pounds. But it's giving you something for helping me start off. I can't start the business without the success of the Kickstarter. I can't start the way I want to without the help of the Kickstarter. And in an ideal world, this Kickstarter will hit the 5,000 and then sky through. It'll go through into the stretch goals, which I'm going to talk about at some point in this session. And I've got to give something back. And it's that whole community thing, that we're all part of this community, whether it be folks who are just in the UK, or whether it be, like I say, Derby and Scarcast, and people over in Canada. Then there's like say Lou Fox and that who are in and Brian who are in America. You've got Clayton and Travis who are in Australia. There's loads and loads of people all over the world, and we're like this. We're a community, and yes, I've got to make money. I've got to make this business make a profit. I'm a businessman at the end of the day. I'm not lying to anybody when I say yes, I'm doing this to make money. But it's not lottery winning money. It's not I'm going to retire in 2 years money. It's making a living for me and my family, but also giving as much as I can at a reasonable cost back to the community that I'm part of. And people must understand that, because the videos that have been put out, Ace, Mike, Nick, people who have done videos for me, video shoutouts, they've all put a similar sort of message. It's about me wanting to help the community that's helping me, and that's why I'm doing it. It costs me nothing, but you get something. And then the biggest part of it, let's be brutally honest about it. So Paul, I'm going to use you as an example. So you pledge £100, for example, you get 10% vouchers. That means you're only going to shop in my store. You're not going to shop online anywhere else. I know physically you come into my store anyway because it's local, but I'm not going to lose you to Element Games or Whaling Games or whatever because they've got a crazy offer up, because you're going to stick with me because that's where your vouchers are worth the money, shouldn't you? So I've got your business for a minimum of 10 orders. And at the end of the 10 purchases, you should then have that much of a relationship with my business and with me that you will just put everything else through. Right? It's almost business 101. It's not.
It's keeping your customers happy. Your customers are the bread and butter of a shop. You know, you need them. Yeah. You don't have customers, you don't have a shop, basically, and it is. And the thing is with the vouchers as well is they're not fixed prices. So that's something else that people need to understand. It's not like you're getting £10 off an order. You're getting 10% off an order. You buy something that costs £100, that's £10 off.
Yeah.
If you buy 200, it's 17 pence off. But if you buy £200 worth of stuff, it's then £20 off. So it's £180 worth of stuff. That's it.
And there is no limit. There literally is no limit. Again, the only restriction that comes in, and I'd sooner be upfront about it, I'm going to do a loyalty card scheme, a bit like Nectar cards or whatever else that are out there, club cards for Tesco, whatever. So when you've registered to buy online, you'll be issued a club card that will come up with your order, or arrive in the post afterwards, however the mechanics work with that. If you're a physical customer in store, you'll be given a physical credit card type thing. And every time you make a purchase, you will earn points, same as the old way. For every pound you spend, you get 1 point. Once you hit £250, you will get 10% off your next order. But you can't accrue points on that purchase, and that will be the same with these discount vouchers. So if you pledge £100, you take 10% vouchers, you won't then get the extra points that go on them. You will accrue points, when you won't get the extra points that are allowed for them. Like on the point where you spend £250, you get your 10% off it, but then you won't get another 250 points to release, because otherwise you just have 10% for life. It just keeps running itself round in circles. So hopefully that clarifies that one.
That's going to be really scary. That my missus will probably find out how many £250 to spend.
I just do what I've spent the last however many years now buying from GW. When I used to buy in GW in Southport, I used to go in and whatever I purchased, I'd pay cash for. Never used my card for it, because that way it didn't say Games Workshop on my bank account. And also, as soon as I was given the box, they'd hand me the receipt, and I'd just be like, don't want the receipt, and they'd put the receipt in the bin there and then for me, because then there was no chance, not that my wife goes through my wallet or anything, but it meant that there was no chance that if she happened to be looking for something, she wasn't going to see a receipt in there for a model that cost £60, and I told her it was only 20. Because let's be honest, we all lie about how much our models cost.
I can't do that. my wife goes and picks them up for me. She's pretty amazing. Like, she's bought my Codex.
Wow.
She's bought models for me, so she knows the prices of these things.
Oh no, that's quite impressive. So, then.
Yeah. My youngest sister, for I think it was Christmas last year or the year before maybe, went into Game Workshop, and I don't think you've ever seen my sister, have you, Martin?
No.
She's like a model. She's like 6'2", there's nothing of her, and you know the stereotype people within the Game Workshop. She walked in, and every head that she said people got whiplash, and she said, I want some Grey Knights for me brother, and the guy was like, what? So the fact your wife is willing to walk into a shop to pick stuff up for you, that's pretty awesome. My sister's never gone back. She's like, you know what? I'll just give you money and you can buy them yourself for your present.
Yeah, I just get told to get vouchers. If I'm allowed hobby stuff for presents, then I just get told, right, how do I buy you a voucher? And more often than not, I go and pick the vouchers up, or I pick up a box of whatever it is I want, hand it to my wife, who then wraps it to give it to my daughter to give to me.
Yeah.
Because it's easier that way.
Yeah, it's like that old joke as well on the internet, isn't it, in regards to the price of models. It goes, if anything ever happens to me, I'd hate to see the price my wife sells everything for.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I've got an agreement with my cousin who goes through schools with, who we game quite a lot. His wife has more of a clue about how much it costs than mine does. It's not that I out lie to my wife, I just don't tell her the full truth. I bend reality to the absolute maximum. And we've got an agreement. It's not quite written in legal wills, but if anything happens to him or anything happens to me,
gentlemen's understand them.
Well, if something happened to me, he is to take my whole Warhammer collection and do with it as he wishes, because he'll either keep it for himself or sell it and at least get what he should be getting for it. Because if my wife got rid of it, I'd come and haunt her, I think. She thought my Reaver Titan was £180. Brilliant. I'm even whispering, saying that in case she can hear me upstairs.
Well, I made the mistake. I made the mistake of showing my. The first time I ever went to Warhammer World was with my partner Steph, and our father lives down in Croydon, so we were coming back up, and I was like, I've been dying to go here for years. And she was like, okay, and this was a couple of years ago. So we went up, and I made the mistake of picking up a Forge World catalogue. I was saying, I've got a pretty big Tau army, and I was always saying, I'd love to get one of these Tau Mantas. I made the mistake of leaving, that Ford Wheel catalogue on the back seat of a car.
Mm.
And she just picked it up and was flicking through it. And then she come in, she went, you know, if you'd ever get one of them Mantas? And I was like, yeah. She went, you can only get them from Ford Wheel, can't you? I was like, yeah, that's a... Who make it? And you spend £1,000 on a model. Said, I want a proper big holiday every year for about 5 years.
Brilliant. That's the way it is, isn't it?
I showed my wife the Revenant Titan, and I was like, this would be really cool to get. I went out to a friend of mine's house for a party, and I came back, and my wife made me one. She's like, I'm not buying you one, I'll make you one.
Fantastic. That's almost better, though, to be fair.
Yeah.
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 Nice.
That is pretty nice.
I'm still waiting for that base live pledge to come through. I want to feel like Ant and Dec. Darby won't know Ant and Dec are actually. They're two lads who have been on TV together since they were like teenage boys, and they win all sorts of awards. They're presenters from Newcastle, and they're hilarious. To be fair, they know each other that well. They bounce off each other perfectly.
They're like the Jimmy Fallon of the UK, I suppose.
Okay.
A bit like Morecambe and Wise and any other great
comedy duos
that have been together, and they're presenters, and they're just hilarious. But yeah, they're the sort of people who do a televised. How much did that cost me? Get ITV to do a Kickstarter
cost you more than £5,000.
But it might, but then it'd make a lot more back from it, because people, if it's on telly with Ant and Dec, then people just ring up and pay, don't they? And do you know what? I'm going to talk about that right now. Not about Ant and Dec and getting them to pledge it. You can't use PayPal on Kickstarter, and I think that's an absolute joke that you can't pay via PayPal. People.
It'll be the payment costs of using PayPal.
It will, yeah, but there are ways and means, and I just think when I'm presented, if I'm buying something online, if I'm presented with the option of either using my debit card or PayPal, I'll always pay with PayPal. You never get charged 1% extra. Or 2%, I'll still pay with PayPal, because you feel that bit more secure, because you've got that guarantee, haven't you, that if it all goes wrong, you get your money back off PayPal. And there is a massive amount of skepticism out there with online payments and everything else. And I don't know whether or not this Kickstarter, one of the problems I can see with it is the effort somebody has to go to actually make a pledge. It's not difficult, but it's not as simple as putting your hand in. If I could, I've got 897 subscribers on YouTube, which is massive, outstanding amounts in 12 months. And I don't get 897 views on every video, because not every subscriber watches every video, I get that. But if I could go and knock on the door of every one of those 897 people, shaking a charity bucket, everybody will put £1 or more in the bucket, because it's put the hand in the pocket and put it in, and it's fine, and it's physical. When you've then got to do it through a social, an internet medium, so do it through a video, asking for them, saying click this link, and then you've got to go on, and then you've got to decide, you've got to click this, you've got to put your details in, and then it doesn't come out instantly, it comes out at the end of the campaign. If the campaign's successful, it all becomes almost a bit of a chore, I think. And as soon as something becomes remotely difficult, people walk away from it, and people just say, nah, because do you know what, for £1 it's not worth the hassle. Well, it is to me. I want the quids, so your hassle is appreciated by me, but I think that's why a lot of people don't do it. Because, I mean, would you agree with that? If I took a bucket round to all 900 subscribers, you can pretty much guarantee that they'd put £1, £5, £10, whatever they've got, basically, they'd put money in, wouldn't they? If I said, oh, I'm looking for between £1 and £1,000 donations to go into this, people would do it.
I think so.
But it just seems so much more hassle to log on to somewhere and create an account to do it, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I suppose with it's the same with anything, isn't it? If you've got to put too much effort in just to help somebody out, some people may not be interested in doing it.
Exactly.
And you could say that's lazy, but I get it. You know, I've been in
the
that
society
situation
we live in.
myself. I mean, I personally, I know whether this Kickstarter takes off or not, whether you're able to open the store the way you want to, that you're still going to be benefiting the community massively. You know, there's no denying that. I mean, I'd definitely like Kickstarter to take off, because if that goes through, I then get 10% discount for 2 years. So that's
awesome. Pledge more then, lad.
Yeah, no,
it's going to be a huge advantage, I have to say, for anyone that's going to be local in the area, because I'm super lucky. I've got a huge store nearby. It's kind of like hidden in the middle of nowhere. We've got tons of tons of space, and pretty much hearing what you're going to be doing, it's like it's going to be what we have here over there, and people are going to have such a great time being able to go into a place where it's going to be clean, open air. For YouTubers, you know, content creators, going out and doing battle reports. When you go to a lot of the stores, the lighting's terrible.
Yeah.
And if you don't have lighting, it doesn't matter how good your camera is, you're not going to get any footage. So it's going to be awesome.
It is, and on the lighting point, in fact, you know, before I go on to the lighting point, good evening, John.
Yep, hello.
Right, mate, you alright? Visitors all checked in and done your duty with your visitors.
Oh, yeah. Stepsister come up with her other half and the other stepsister and new baby. So, yeah. It was like nappy changing time, so I was like, alright, I'm off. Catch you later.
Smell you later.
Bye.
Yeah, but I'm not going to try and recap where we're up to, John. In very short terms, I've gone through the pledge levels again. I've said that I want this to be a live pledge show. Yeah, we haven't had a live pledge yet. And there's a joke in the whole thing. You know me well enough, John. I just take the mick out of everything. It would be great if my email started flooding through. You have a new backing, you have a new backing. That would be fantastic. If I could hit £1,000 tonight, that would be absolutely awesome. If I don't, it doesn't matter. This is about just generating some more interest within the YouTube community. Because, again, and I don't mean to sound offensive when I say it, but I've got 897 subscribers and I've only got 32 backers. Now, a certain amount of people have been in touch with me and I've said, I am going to get behind it. I'm going to do it when payday comes in and not how much money I've got. That's fine. And if you don't want to donate anything, that's also fine. I'm not demanding money off anyone. I don't know whether I was maybe a little bit naive in my own mindset where I thought I should easily, I would have thought with the amount of people that watch my videos as a ratio of subscribers, I thought, oh yeah, I'll easily get about 15% of my subscribers will pledge £1 to £10. I thought that would be the average that comes in, and it's nowhere near that, which isn't a problem. It's just, you know, when you kind of you've decided something in your mind and then it doesn't come through that way. It's like, oh, it's okay, and it just is what it is. So I want them on tonight. There's 5 people watching. I don't know who the 5 people are. I don't want to Mike, who I've already spoken to, and I don't know who the other guys are. I just think, just making me feel good about myself. Somebody just put £1 pledge on so that I can say I got a live pledge on my pledge-a-thon. It's ridiculous. But what it also does is every time a pledge comes in, even if it is just £1, it activates different triggers within the Kickstarter account, so it makes you trend better. And like anything, it's like a hashtag thing on Twitter. The more activity something gets, the more popular it becomes. The more popular it becomes, the more audience joins on. And here's Mike, Speaker of the Devil. Are we here, Mike? Good evening. No, we've got Mike in picture, but we've not got him in voice. Maybe his mic's muted. Oh no, I'd be able to see if his mic was muted. I'm sure you'll figure it
No, I
out in a
can't
minute,
see
Mike.
anything on it, but yeah.
Hello, hello.
Ah, he's there. Good evening. How are we?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm on a live pledge-a-thon.
So I understand. Yes.
It's not going very well, but it's all right because we're having fun. When I'm turning up in 10 minutes, it'll all go nuts.
Oh God.
Why are you, man?
Yeah. But yeah, and I don't know whether or not some of it. Ultimately, I'm asking people to back into something just because they believe in me. Because anybody who's putting even £1 to £50, okay, the £10 you're getting something out of it. You're getting 5%, and you're getting the chance of winning that £75. But ultimately, I'm asking you to buy into me for a couple of quid. It's not until the bigger pledge levels that you really start getting something back. And I don't know. Next week's going to be the big one. Everybody's payday is next week, so you've got Mike Finlow, so that's Mammoth Painting Studio. Just come on. Good evening, Mike. So we've got Mike on. For the purposes of this, then, Mike that's just joined, I'm going to call you Mammoth. Only because we've got two mics and it'll just get confused if you both answer.
No problem.
But yeah, I just think, is it because it's too awkward to do? Or is it because next week is going to be the test, I think, when payday kicks in, because a lot of people get paid end of month or last Friday month. So this time next week, or a week on Monday, so that people have had the weekend to digest their spends, I think that's when I'm going to have a true reflection of whether or not I'm going to hit this target or not.
You've still got plenty of time on it. It's like less than a week old now, is it? Or is it coming
Yeah,
up to
it's 21 days left, so I've got 3 weeks, 3 full weeks left. Because it started really well. Looking at my trend tracker or whatever it's called now, I need to receive something like £169 worth of pledges a day to achieve target. Now, if somebody hits £250 pledge like they did earlier in the week, that's fine because that's a day and a half's worth of pledges. Or if 17 people get £10, then it's fine. Do you know
I think it's like with anything. It builds momentum at the start, and it's tired off now. You've got payday in the UK, primarily payday coming up over the next week, where people get paid at the end of the week. That's when you're going to start picking up. Then £10, then £1. Yeah, I mean you can pledge more than that. You can pledge as much as you want.
Well, that's it. What
You don't
one of
have
the
to
guys.
stick.
Martin, just to stop you, have you actually actively tracking it? Because Dave seems to think it's up to over £1,000 now.
Nice. I must have literally, I've got it open on another screen here. Must have literally.
You might have to like manually refresh it or something.
Yeah, I'm just going to refresh it now. Oh yeah, I've just got a new backer. Oh, look at that. It is £1,182. That's it, we can close the show. Go on. I won't name names at this point. Because obviously I get to see everybody that's pledged. So I won't name names at this point unless I'm asked to. But I don't think I should.
Awesome. You got your live pledge at least.
Well, yeah, I've got a live pledge.
Who needs Ant and Death?
Yeah, when you've got a dodgy scouser. Maybe that's the other reason I'm not getting it, because everybody knows that I'm a scouser and therefore I'm a thief. And if I'm a thief, this is the best theft in the world, because I'm not even robbing you, you actually give me it. And then I'm going to run away. Brave, said Robin. Run away. But yeah, that's brilliant. I'm over £1,000 now. I'm happy. What I was thinking somewhere in amongst saying that was, if you pledge £1 today, and then next week you think, do you know what, actually, I want a bit of that £10 raffle action, you can increase your pledge. You don't have to re-pledge. You can increase, and although I don't want to advertise it, you can decrease your pledge as well. So if you know you're going to be committing something, then throw a pound on it now, and then when you know how much you can commit, just change the amount towards the end, because it's absolutely fine to do it.
Another way of looking at it as well is that's you almost a quarter of the way through your thing, a quarter of the way through the time as well.
Yeah, it's massive.
Yeah,
And like you say, that's before you get your big week next week.
Well, that's it. Well, I'm 23% funded as we sit here with 35 backers and 21 days to go. So it's a 30-day project. Let's say that there was 2 dead days. So we split it into 4 weeks of 7 days, which is 28. So I'm a quarter of the way through and I'm 23% funded without having hit payday section.
There you go.
So don't get me wrong, there is a confidence there that I'm going to do it. But I think it was Chris Gibbs who might have been saying it too. Actually, is I don't do nerves. I'm not a nervous person. My job's never allowed me to be nervous. But this has got me literally. It's so far out my comfort zone because I don't normally ask people for things. Don't like asking, especially for money. I don't like asking for money. I'm a get up and I go and do it myself, and I do it on my own 2 feet. And it's the uncertainty of knowing whether it's going to work. That was the scary aspect with this. And if it works, it's fantastic. And if it stretches, even better. Because the things that I do with the stretch goals are huge. It's just a bit nuts. But yeah, I've had a large pledge. I'm over £1,000, so I'm happy about that.
So someone bid the 2. How much is it? 1 bid that you've had, or
1 pledge, £250. So that's a lifetime membership for these individual, and also 10% off, 10% extra off every order for the next 2 years from date of opening, which, by the way, is going to be mid to end September.
Mid to end September.
Yeah, unless things happen, solicitors or there's eventualities. But I'm aiming for mid to end September. By hook or by crook, even if it doesn't look like a shop, my doors will be open for the 17th of December. Because I'm not being open when Star Wars hits. It can't happen. It just can't happen. And Mike, Brent, here's a question. Should I stock Star Wars Lego in the store? Because it is a hobby product.
Oh, I think you should. Yeah.
Just Star Wars Lego, no other Lego. Because it is a hobby.
It is a hobby, yeah.
I definitely think you should, considering where the shop's going to be.
Yeah.
Mainly because there is a Lego shop in Liverpool.
Yeah, Liverpool one.
And it's a 45-minute train ride away.
Yeah, there's nothing. The only other thing, I suppose, on Lord Street is Argos, isn't it, really? That sells Lego.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't go to Argos to buy Lego, would you?
No. Can you sell that at a slightly reduced rate? Would you?
I can, but I wouldn't.
Wouldn't it be the standard RRP for stuff like Lego?
Toys R Us and Smith's Toys sell it more expensive than Lego sell it.
Really?
Occasionally, if they get a sale, I got me AT-AT, should have been £110. I think I paid £80 for me AT-AT or whatever it was because there was a sale on. But other than that, if for example that big Superstar Destroyer that I've got, that's £350. But in Toys R Us, when they had it in, it was £400. It's £399.99. And a little £28. Well, the little escape pod where you get R2 and C3PO and the escape pod on Tatooine. That's a £20 thing, but in Toys R Us it was always £25. It's nuts. I get everything from the VIP store direct from Lego.
Yeah. Awesome.
But I'll have to look into distributors for that then.
Yeah.
And then I'll just be skint because I want to, for every set that comes out, I want my own of them in the store. And
Would Lego not
just
distribute
one
them
second,
back to
sorry,
you?
Paul. Just one second. Darby's got. They might. I've not looked in. I've purposely not looked at Lego distribution. Because if it's cheap enough to do, I'm going to do it, aren't I? And it's not part. It's not being
Of your plan.
part of the plan. And I'll be honest, this Kickstarter, I've said to people, it's to deepen the levels of stock that I'm going to have in store.
Yeah.
That's truth. Other thing that the Kickstarter is for, the £5,000 if I get it, will allow me to put some extra depth to other ranges, or even more ranges and more board games in. But it's also going to pay for the terrain on the tables, because those main tables downstairs, those 14, 15 tables, they need good quality terrain. I don't want to go to local school and give them some foam board and say, hey kids, make me some hills and we'll just put some felt over some books. I don't want to do that. And I don't want every table to just have GW terrain on it either, because I'll have a couple of GW terrain tables because I'll sell the stuff and that's fine. I've yet to speak to. I've spoken briefly, but I'm going to speak more with a YouTube terrain maker about having a table built and working with him on something. And I don't want to say anything more than that without being too obvious and cryptic, only because I've not discussed details with him, and it's not fair for me to do that.
Yeah.
And somebody's given me a load of fantasy terrain. Paul, I gave you a load of my GW terrain last week, which is enough for one table. I've got 2 Imperial sectors sat up in the loft, so that's enough for another table of GW terrain. I need asteroids for my X-Wing table, because I don't want cardboard tokens, I want proper asteroids. And they're really simple to make and look good, so I can do them. I want a kick-ass, an absolute kick-ass bolt action table. I want it to look like some sort of French or Polish town that the Germans have actually come through.
Speak to Glenn.
Yeah.
He used to do a
I was enjoying
blog.
it.
Yeah, I think it was his blog. He was doing a bolt action table. Speak to Glenn. He might be able to assist or point you in the right direction, possibly give you a hand.
Well, brilliant. And a Malifaux table. Malifaux steampunk meets Wild West. So what cactuses or cacti? Well, I don't know what the call is. I'm not a scouser. I'm not meant to know what cacti are. But I want them little spiky things and like little steampunk. I'm going to get a table made out of foreground. Now, Mike, I know that you're a fan of the foreground terrain, aren't you?
Oh, it's fantastic stuff. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
It's like nice sort of dead man's hand table or something like that.
Yeah. Well, there's going to be a dead man. I'm going to have dead man's hand in there as well as dead zone. Literally, whatever game systems are out there that people are playing, I'm going to have demo sets available. So it might be that you'd walk into the store and dead man's hand isn't out on a table, because it might be the Dust Tactics is out on that table. But the minute you express the slightest interest in Dead Man's Hand, I want to be able to have a starter set with terrain where I can just, in 2 minutes, go take that off and put this on and swap it around. And that's the idea. So each table has 2 to 3 uses. I want. Well, if I'm completely honest, Mike, I want your drop zone come out of the table. I'm going to mirror your table because it just looks so good, that one. With those
you can't make a pledge, Mike. You can make a donation.
I can't make a donation, couldn't I? Yeah.
No, I'm going to copy that because I think those builds that you bought, the extra builds and with the resin vents and stuff on the top, that's how a drop zone table should look.
Really nicely, to be fair. Yeah. There's someone, I can't remember who it is. They're releasing tiles, aren't they? Boards to emulate
Yes.
the plastic. Oh, sorry, the paper terrain, aren't they? The paper.
Yeah, when
cities.
they salute.
I can't remember who it is.
Yeah.
I know
Didn't,
game
Done
um,
stuff at Mantix. Was that not the one by
don't
one
think it was
tiles there?
No, I think Pete over at Mini Warzone picked some tiles up from some
Secret Weapon.
ones. Secret Weapon, that's
Secret
it.
Weapon, that's right, yeah.
So it might be worth me getting them. The mats, the tables themselves are all going to be on game mats, which will be a mixture of gamer EU or whatever they're called, and frontline gaming. Because they're brilliant and vinyl mats.
Awesome. Have you ever played on one of them?
Yes, my cousin's got an X-wing and a Chaos one. No, a big Chaos time. The dice.
Just like mouse pads, aren't they?
Well, that's it. So the dice don't make horrible noise when they land. Your models move across easy. You don't scrape your knuckles as you go to pick up a pile of dead termagants. And as you go to do it, you end up scraping your knuckles on painted sands. It's a more user-friendly table. And it's just easy to clean and keep tidy. But yeah, terrain's a big thing for me. And I suppose that kind of leads me to the next section I want to talk about. So, someone backers, I like this, let's do this. Yep, okay. New activity. Right, Morg TV saying that there are other crowdfunding sources there which you don't offer perks, you offer shares in the company, and I can see why that would work from a community point of view, which is what he's aiming at there. I'm not too keen to be giving shares away in the company. It's not a massively profitable company anyway, and there's the old argument of so you give 10% of your company away, 90% of something is better than 100% of nothing. But each time you're giving a share away, then I think. But I see where he's coming from with that.
I wonder if with those types of crowdfunded share things, you get the option to, I suppose, buy back the shares, sort of as a.
I don't know, because I've not
loan.
looked into them. Somebody suggested to me, I think it might have been Darby actually suggested to me about Indiegogo, where you don't have to achieve your goal with that. So if I fell short, I'd pay a higher percentage as a fee to them. But it doesn't matter whether you get £1 pledged or £1 million pledged, you get everything that's been pledged to you.
Yeah.
But I thought Kickstarter's a bigger brand name, and ultimately I've already just had a conversation about putting trust into people, about putting the details into the internet to give some money and everything else. At the point where if it didn't use Kickstarter, there was half an argument that I was just actually going to give a PayPal address and I was just going to run this via social media. But yeah, literally just as me, so I'm not paying anybody any fees, but again, there wasn't the name behind it, and I think it's that branding, isn't it? Kickstarter is something that even if you don't know about it, you've heard of it. So that's why I've gone with it at the end. Well, Daniel Gibbons is watching, and he's on his iPad, so he can't join in. He's asked with the £100 pledge level, would the extra 10% discount be applied to the commission side of the business or just the price of the minis? Good question, not thought of it, and the answer is yes. So I was after thinking on your feet, or on your ass, sat on a chair. That's the way I roll, guys, isn't it? Though you see me in my videos, yes. So if you pledge on any of the levels where you get discount vouchers and you want commission work doing, you will get the percentage off that commission as well. So if you commission me on £1,000 army, you get 10% off. You get £100 off it. If you commission me on a £50 model, you get £5 off it. Depends how it works. And commission prices are my commission prices are relatively structured. Yeah, they're fair and they're structured. They're quite obvious what they are.
You're not going to be paying £17 for a single Space Marine. Some guy tried to was offering services on a Facebook page the other day. He was saying, I don't know whether it was a mistype, but he put £17 for per Space Marine.
Ouch!
Price £17 for a Space Marine. You could buy a box from Martin's shop for that price.
Brilliant! I love it. For £17, you're not getting a box of Space Marines off me, man.
Not if you pledge £1,000.
Of course, yeah, you are. You pledge £1,000. Which, on that note, we've had another pledge.
Wow.
It's actually, as part of the conversation I've had, it's a pledge increase.
Brilliant.
So I've gone from somebody who's pledged £100 has increased to £250, which actually means I now have three £250 backers.
Brilliant.
And also, what does that do to my percentages? I take it over to this box, press Control Refresh. See, look, I get all happy now.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I promised I'd sing this song, didn't I? 1,000, I'm not doing it.
You did, you did.
I said at 2,000 I'll sing this song. I'm happy. I don't know the words to happy, but that's the one. I'm at 26% funded, so I'm now a quarter of the way through my project. At a quarter of the way through my project. Fantastic.
Yeah, good work.
You guys are legends. I need to figure out where the button is that doesn't let you decrease your pledges.
Just on the subject of obviously people starting to make live pledges now, which is awesome. We were talking about the process of setting up Kickstarter, and if you've never done it before, it can be a bit daunting, but it is a pretty simple process. It's email address, password. You do it on Facebook. You can even use Facebook to log into it.
Yeah, and then
you put your pledge level. I put your credit or debit card details in.
And it doesn't take the money straight away. It only takes the money. So this project ends on the 13th of June at 7:45 p.m. 13th of June. This campaign ends. If it is successful, whether it's £5,000 on or whether it's £50,000, once it becomes funded, you will then get an email notifying you that the project has either been successful or unsuccessful. If it's successful, you'll be told that your pledge of £10 will be debited from the card details given. And that's when it runs through, so you don't have to. I still understand why people wait for payday, because you see how much money comes in and how much money goes back out, and then you balance your books and you say, well, actually, that's what I've got left, so that's what I'm going to spend. And I found that, I mean, there's a guy on YouTube here, Nolsey. Hi there, Mark. Really like what you're planning to do here. I live in Ireland, so won't really benefit from store membership. But discounts on bigger pledges do appeal to me. Waiting for payday, that's absolutely understandable. It's 100% understandable, especially if you work in industries like I have, where you're on commission. You never know what you're bloody getting. You never know how much money you're going to get. But the options are there. That's great. I've had 2 live pledges. I'm going to do a pledge-a-thon every night now until you get sick of me. And we're up to 7 viewers. That's even better as well. I want to get that into double figures. I think that would be cool. Not many questions coming down the sides of guys. By not many, I mean none. I've had more pledges than questions tonight, which is actually fantastic. John, I know that somewhere in the background you're my what Mel will call a comment monkey. You'll keep an eye on comments and stuff, because you always do.
How did you know that I was already doing that?
Because I just know, yeah. I remember when Mel did his Help Heroes build, the big terrain piece, and you literally you were his comment monkey, and I think it's stuck since then.
The 24-hour thing, that was...
Yeah, that 24-hour one where
that was brutal, man.
Everything on that one, did he not?
Almost.
Not fully. But no, that was cracking. Well, let's help the heroes. Let's use my. In fact, no, it's drawn. I was going to say let's use this to plug Help for Heroes as well, because tomorrow Stephen's doing the draw. At some point tomorrow, he's going to do the draw with Help for Heroes and see who's won. And it's exciting, to be fair. They've got well over £2,000. I don't know the exact figure, but it's over £2,000, and for all the trouble, which I won't go into on a live show, for all the trouble that they've had, which meant they didn't get the same results as last year, I think actually it's an admirable job that's been done. £2,500 is an awful lot of money that's being raised for charity, and fair play to them. I know we put a certain amount of work into painting the models, but it's nothing. Mike, you did the Storm Raven, I did the Talons, and then Rhino. And let's be honest, for the amount of hours it took us to do them, it's nothing compared to what's going to be generated for charity.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hopefully, I'm going to win. Because it's going to look great in the store. Imagine that, the Help for Heroes Army in my store.
That would be cool.
I bought tickets. Ace Face has already said that if he wins it, he's giving me the army to put in the store because he does not want any Ultramarines.
That's the fact. I bore witness to that.
Yeah, of course, you were on that one, weren't you? That was driving around Liverpool.
If you do win it, Martin, I'll have a reboot that you can add to it.
Fantastic. Oh, wait a second. We've got another backer, guys. Another £100. Fantastic. And now £1,432. Do you know what? I decided this afternoon I was going to record a video. Just put another video out to try and push this. And I laughed and joked with my wife. I said, maybe we should do like an online sort of telethon thing called a Pledge-a-thon. And she laughed and she went, on a Friday night, nobody's going to be up for that.
Your wife doesn't know how. Your wife obviously isn't aware of how active WarGames lads are.
One of the best nights I ever had on the Facebook trading site. I had a load of like tat is probably the right word for it, like key rings and pin badges and lanyards and all that sort of store birthday stuff that they used to have. And I put it all on about 9 o'clock one Friday night on Facebook, just put the photographs on, put them on, and through till about 2 o'clock in the morning, I was selling more that night than I've ever sold to WarGames. So maybe Friday night is WarGamers sitting in front of the computer night. I don't know. I'm guessing, Mike, you're sanding your victory.
That sounds a little bit private.
Mike, can you hear us?
Yes. Can you hear me? Yeah.
Are you sanding the victory?
What am I doing? I'm drilling gun ports.
All right. I could specifically hear wood as opposed to plastic, and I thought that's got to be you. It's got to be the victory. So that's fine. Has your other parcel arrived this week in the black packaging?
It has, yes. I think we're up to issue 21.
21, yeah. We need a new folder.
You didn't get a folder now?
No, I didn't get one with it. So I'm guessing that will arrive with the next 4 issues. Yeah. And you get plastic jigs to hold the frame up. For those,
is this the thing that's going in the store?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Well, I had a joke with Mike when Mike started the build. And I said, I'm so jealous, I wanted to do it, but my wife won't let me. Got to find a way of convincing him. We were trying to figure a way out where we'd not lying to it, but you're getting the build, basically. And I said to Mike, do you know what? I said, I'm going to get the store up and running, and I'll just buy it through the store as a company purchase. It'll be written off as a store purchase. And lo and behold, the store's now going to happen. And when issue 100 arrives and I get the arm, it's going to be mounted above the X-Wing display board on the wall. It's going to take pride of place. And if my wife ever asks, by the way, Mike, you sent me issues 1 and 2 because you had duplicates of them, and as a result of doing that, that triggered me. I couldn't not carry on then because I'd made a mistake and it wasn't 4 issues a month, it was only 2 issues a month, so it's only £16 a month and not 36.
I actually had a duplicate of issue 1, and I was going to send it to you with a little pleading letter for your wife.
Oh, fantastic!
I thought that'd be really cheap. I don't know if my wife would appreciate that. So I didn't do it, but yeah. So I'm glad you did it.
Brilliant, fantastic. Funny you should say about the letter. Do you remember the competition that the Morgue did? Where I was trying to get into 500 subscribers so I could get the Phantom Titan. And to be fair, we got him halfway. We got us 250 subs, which was impressive. But when he sent the stuff to it, and I think he's actually watching. He's just sent an email, so I'm gathering you're watching. And he sent a letter with the Eden stuff and the Mark of Colombo figure, and it was a letter to my wife. It was addressed to Mrs. McNeil, and it was I've got it in front of you. It was weird. I've kept it. It was weird at something online of just to confirm that these minis were won in a competition that I ran on YouTube, and did not go out and spend any money on them on this occasion. Just silly with the book. I was just sort of like, fair play, mate, that letter was brilliant. She even laughed at it, which was good.
Chris is leaving a comment just saying it's going really well, Martin.
Yeah, I've literally just picked
Chris Gibbs, yep.
Yeah, fantastic. Good to see you watching, Chris. I know you said you couldn't get on, which is fair enough. But yeah, so we're going to have a Millennium Falcon over the X-Wing stand. I talked about it the other night, on Monday night, about what the look of the store is going to be, but obviously as you walk through the door, the Star Wars section is going to be the first thing that hits you in the face. So you're going to have X-Wing, Armada, Imperial Assault. If I can get them at a reasonable price, the Bandai models, I've now pretty much committed to putting Star Wars Lego in there online. So let's just put Star Wars Lego in, right? So we'll get, if I get enough money, I'll put Star Wars Lego in, but it's not part
Have
of
it as a stretch. Have it as a stretch goal. That's done.
There you go. So 10 grand stretch goal. I'll put the Star Wars Lego range in. Done.
Therefore, you're honouring your commitment, and you're also making sure you get the money for it. Job done.
Fantastic, yeah. That works for me. Yeah, 10 grand. I will stock Star Wars Lego. Only Star Wars Lego. I'm not putting myself into all the Marvel stuff and although you've seen the new Back to the Future range that's just come out with Dimensions and what's his name, Christopher Lloyd, does the advert for it, and he's got the little Doc Brown figure, and it all of a sudden makes you want all the Back to the Future Dimension stuff, where it's Marty McFly fighting Batman in one scene and Superman, and like he's just jumping through all these different crazy. Lego's brilliant. In fact, that's right behind my laptop at the moment. So I bought that for me. My wife's birthday was in November, and I bought her that for her birthday because she loves minis and she loves Lego. Bought her the Lego camper van the year before, or whenever. That box still hasn't been opened, and it's killing me. Absolutely killing me. I keep moaning. Just get round to building it. Well, I don't have time. Fine time. I'd have had that open and built the day I got it. I'd have sacrificed it.
Child, hasn't she, Martin?
Well, she had, yeah, but what the bloody hell's maternity for? I just think I couldn't leave it in the box. There's 1,077 pieces of mini Cooper goodness there waiting to be built. Anyway.
I've just disappeared off cam for 1 second just so I can angle my laptop right on the subject of your Millennium Falcon with the 200 issues. Do you think this would look pretty awesome in your shop?
Well, we've got a picture for you.
When it comes back on.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, we go on to.
Don't know whether you can see that very well. What that is a collection of Marvel graphic novels.
Awful.
I've seen them. Was that the Agostini one?
No, it was Hatchet Printworks, I
Hatchet,
believe.
yeah.
And
Oh,
He was sounding a bit laggy then. I
yeah.
think the videos sort of stopped.
Yeah, as long as we are still here, I can still see you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's only Paul that's phased out. He'll come back in. That's fine. Yeah, it's a fantastic collection. That though, I've got the 007. It was 20. It was the first 20 films where it has the 007 down the side of the DVD cases, and then the 21st film came out. So they made it fit in with them, and then they changed it all. So Casino Royale and that don't fit into them. I was like, you know, I stopped collecting things like that at that point because they never all match up, do they? But yeah, the Millennium Falcon. What I have said as well, and you know what, I'm going to put it in at that £10,000 stretch goal. I will stock Star Wars Lego, and I will also buy my Stormtrooper. You can buy a life-sized replica of a Stormtrooper. I don't mean a cosplay thing. I mean like a statue, like what Barney Stinson has on How I Met Your Mother. And I want one of them at the front of my store. So you're greeted by a Stormtrooper with a blaster. You won't hit you because he's a Stormtrooper, but he's there in presence, and he just looks really awesome. And the reason I'm putting Star Wars at the front of the store, it drags people in. Everybody knows what Star Wars is. Games Workshop won't drag people in off the street necessarily. Some people it will, but not everybody. But if I've got Star Wars at the front of the shop and the new movie hits, I'm going to have everyone from grannies who want Christmas presents for the grandchildren, to kids dragging the parents in, to girlfriends coming in to buy for the boyfriends, and vice versa. It's going to get people into the store. They might just buy an X-Wing Millennium Falcon for a model. They might not even be interested in the game, and that's fine. But once they're in the store, they might see everything else and just go, oh, this looks cool. New Aliens versus Predator. Oh, that's brilliant. I'll have one of them. Actually, it's a full game in a box. Or Zombie Side. I'm going to have a table display of that. And then they can get over to the Games Workshop stuff. Because I don't need to sell Games Workshop from a window point of view. Games Workshop will sell because it is Games Workshop. But the branded stuff, the Star Wars, the Alien vs Predator, the Terminator, the Halo game, all that is what will drag people into the store, I think. And I'm getting season us all up. Are you there, kid?
I hope so.
Yeah, yes,
Yep.
we can, yeah. And we did see the footage.
Briefly.
You sacrificed your connection to show us that, so that's quite
Completely. Yeah, almost dropped my laptop as well.
Another email there. Oh no, that's a Facebook one, so that's fine. Don't worry about that one. I don't know who that person is. Do you know what? You can be my friend anyway, so. Let's just add people as friends nowadays. I get friend requests and I don't know who they're on. I just think, yeah, whatever. And just go with it. Facebook. It's a happy place. But, right, we've, in typical Marvel fashion, have digressed for about half an hour there. In that digression, we've attached a stretch goal to the campaign. We've attached stretch goal for Star Wars Lego and the Stormtrooper at £10,000, and we've confirmed that there is going to be a Millennium Falcon flying out to the shop. Memberships. I do specifically want to talk about memberships because if I'm getting any grief off people on the likes of Facebook and everything, the grief is coming because I'm charging for tables. And people saying, well, why are you charging for that? Because this place doesn't charge and that place doesn't charge. Games Workshop don't charge. Straight away, Games Workshop don't charge because they can't. They've got 1.5 tables to play on. You can't charge people for 1.5 tables in generally a space that you can't swing your cat in. So you wouldn't pay to play in Games Workshop, I don't think. If you go to a gaming club, I go to two different ones. I go to Mammoths, which is in Ainsdale, Southport, and I go to Ones North, which is in Wigan. And they cost £3 and £4 respectively. Sorry, £4 and £3 respectively. For a night's worth of game. And I only play one game, but I pay £3 or £4 to play one game. So if clubs are charging it, and ultimately I'm a club, why shouldn't they charge it? It pays for the tables, it pays for the terrain, and it stops the shop being used as a creche through the summer holidays when parents just want somewhere to drop the kids off. It stops the guys who are unemployed and just want to sit in your store all day, every day, but never spend a penny and actually give a bit of a bad vibe to new customers coming in because they almost scare them off. It stops those people abusing your store. It's my store, but it's your store as well. You're coming to play in it. So if you want a nice environment, if you want everything that I'm offering, to spend £3.50 per day that you want to play, I don't think it's a lot of money. If you do it as a membership of £100 a year, that means that if you played once a week, it's only £2.20 or something. After I'm going to calculate it, about £2.20 a week to be able to play unlimited amount of games in the store. You also get, if I'm going to run a tournament, which I will be doing, regular tournaments, you would, as a member, you would find out about the tournament 24 hours before anybody else. So you've got 24 hours notice on people to book your place, and you will get discount on the tournament ticket of X%, depending on which tournament it is. You'll know what your discount is as a member. So you're getting priority on things like that. And I think it's only right, Mike. Again, I'm going to come back to you. You're in Cardiff.
Yeah.
You're down that sort of way. Firestorm charge for tables, I think, don't they?
Yeah. Same sort of price. Yeah, it's a normal fee really. Yeah. But I mean, they've got terrain down there. They've got some pretty nice tables, to be fair. And
well, they've just expanded, haven't they?
They have, and they're opening another shop down in Newport. So they got the one in Cardiff, and they're grand opening in Newport tomorrow, actually.
Oh, fantastic.
So they moved premises. They had quite a small shop, moved to the South Wales Gaming Centre, they're calling it.
Yeah.
Now, and they've got another shop now down the road in Newport. So yeah, it's pretty good for Wales, to be fair. So.
Well, and it's good news. And I've spoken to, it is Rob, isn't it?
Rob West.
I've spoken to Rob.
He seems a decent guy.
Yeah, he seems it. Because he's not competition for me, and I'm not competition for him. I'm not getting people from Cardiff driving up to Southport just to play a game. And if they do, it's a one-off thing. It's a one-off. It's a bit of a jolly.
Absolutely.
And from an online point of view, I'm not interested. And if this sounds bad to anybody watching, then I'm sorry, but I'm not interested in competing with the online monkeys. And that's probably about as harsh as I'm going to put it. I'm not going to start offering 20 to 25% discounts and literally having no margin left. Still having to give free postage, but then I'd have to start charging for PayPal, and I'll never charge for a surcharge for PayPal, and I'll still give free shipping at £30. But I can't afford to give 20% off because my margins are tiny. So then I've got to sell 10 times as much just to make the same amount of money. And as soon as you start doing it, your customer service naturally drops. Like, classic example, I try not to name names, but I'm going to in this instance, because I'm hoping that somebody from there watches and takes heed with it and sorts themselves out. Element Games has had a great reputation for years when they were offering about 15%. They've just pushed themselves into that 20% plus bracket, and all I am seeing constantly is people complaining about how shocking the service has gone recently. And it's because as soon as you offer the bigger discounts, you are going to sell more products, and you need more manpower to supply that product, and you need deeper stock levels to supply that product. And for the margin that they're making, I don't think it's worth it. So I'd sooner sell it 10-15% rather than 20-25%. Make a small margin and be in amongst, but know that I'm offering arguably the best customer service out there. And I'm sure Firestone will say that they're offering the best customer service, and the WarGames store will say they're offering the best customer service. Ultimately, you buy into them. I'm the only YouTube community member with a channel who's going to have a web store. So therefore, you're not just buying from a brand name anymore. You're buying a person that you watch and you buy into. So I've instantly got a trust factor, or not.
Well, just on that, on your pledge levels, you've got discounts offered in some of those as well, and that would be on top of your regular price, I'm assuming.
Of course it would, yes. Yeah, so the likes of that, so the guys who are on the £250 pledge levels there are getting 10% for 2 years on top. So if I'm offering 15% off, let's say it was, in fact, let's keep figures simple, let's say it's 10% off a box of Marines. So £25 box of Marines, 10% off, give you £2.50. You're going to get a further 10% off for 2 years, so you're only paying £20 for that box of Marines for 2 years. Now, I'm still going to make a small margin because at 20% discount, I make a margin, but it's by the time I paid the VAT and everything, it's that small that it wouldn't keep you in business. So, all right, off those people who pledged £250, I'm not making a massive amount of money. I'm making something, but I've got them as customers, and they generate stock turnover, which is keeping my stock levels with the suppliers healthy enough that I can possibly negotiate better discounts because I'm putting more orders through with them. And as a bigger picture, it's better, and it's not costing me any money. So if I get 20 people pledge 250 quid, I've got my business up and running because of those pledges, and they've not cost me any money. And it's only 20 customers who I'm not making a great deal of money off. And
but you are rewarding the loyalty thing anyway, so you know.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so that was what I was getting at. It was just a cheeky way to highlight that you are technically able to get, you know, a bit more.
Well, that's it. And so you are, and it's not going to be 10% that I discount. It's going to be anything up to 15%. On some things it will be more. One thing that I've been relatively clear about is I'm going to stock battle foam as my weapon of choice for transport, and I've used it for 3 years now. I love it. I'm going to refer to Mike again, who's just done a video on battle foam. He's bought KR for his zombie side, but he's done battle foam for his Blood Angels that he's bringing to Warhammer Mania. It's the better product, but it's more expensive than KR. It's about 10-15% more expensive than KR for a like for like. I say like for like as near as damn it as you're going to get, but your quality is easily 10 to 15% better than KR. So if I sell battle foam at KR prices, I win. I've still got enough margin in it that I can do that, and so I will be stocking battle foam at about 10 to 15%, maybe even in some cases 20%. I'm going to be doing the custom foam for battle foam as well. So although it's still cut out in America, I've ordered enough custom cut foam now. The Gemma, the lady who operates Battle Foam UK, she knows me when I ring up, and between the two of us, she started as I started buying. So her first serious order was from me. So we figured our way through it together, and I know how to do the custom order foam now. So when you come into my store and decide that you want to do custom foam for your miniatures, I'll draw it all up for you as just part of the service that the WarGames offers, and you'll get it at a discounted price. It just, again, it makes sense. If you want to do it online, you send the images through to me rather than to Battle Foam. I'll check them off, send them back to you, and then I'll send them on to Battle Foam for you, and we'll just order them that way.
The discounts, does that count to the carry cases as well, or is it just the foam itself? Or
It's
do you
the
get
cases. No, to anything that says Battle Foam on it. So the bags, the foam that's in. When you buy a bag from Battle Foam, the pack system isn't the popular one. It's the personal army combat case, or something like that. I can't remember what it stands for. You can buy an empty bag. You can buy a bag with a standard loadout, which is a generic set of trays that fit that bag. You can buy it with plug foam, which again are at set thicknesses for the depth of that, or you can buy custom loadouts where you choose So if you buy a pack 720, which is the best one in my opinion, you get 12.5 inches of foam.
Yep.
You could have one piece of 12.5 inch foam and put a wall tighten in there. That's that. Or you could have maybe 10 1-inch trays and you still have 2.5 inches left. But then because the way the bottoms work on them, that would fill the bag. You determine what goes in there with the custom, but you get the choice of how you do them. And
Right.
yes, I intend to sell all that.
Yeah, that's good. Well, in regards to the membership as well, just trying to stay on topic before we go off on another tangent. Obviously, you're paying for the boards and the gaming boards that you're going to be playing. What type of? You've mentioned the terrain you want to be a good quality, but what type of quality are you going for? Because I mean, the thing that springs to my mind straight away is a YouTube channel, Striking Scorpion 82, something like that. Some of his gaming boards are incredible that he plays on.
Right, so he uses frontline gaming mats. So he puts that down, which instantly makes the table look better.
Yeah.
He then brings some of his own terrain with him. Uses a lot of the club terrain, but he brings some of his own set pieces, so like the rocks that he'll put on the desert scene and that. And it's that kind of feel. To be fair, that's the kind of feel that I want to go for. More GW terrain on it. Or, most of us have been to Warhammer World at some point. We've seen sort of fantastic scenic tables that you've got. Think about that. I want a Tau Outpost. I've just bought for my Dark Eldar army a lot of bamboo that Chris Gibbs put me onto basically through chatting to him on Facebook. I'm going to buy a whole lot more of that and a lot of the other foliage, like on a railway foliage that comes with it. I fancy doing a jungle board, not like to the point where you can't see your models. It's going to be playable, but where it looks just different than the tables that you see. When you go to gaming clubs, because you're getting it, you've got to get all the boards out and you've got to throw the terrain on and it's bashed around. You get good terrain in gaming clubs, but it's not great terrain. I want showcase tables on my main retail floor.
Yeah.
When you go up into the tournament halls, the 50 tables that are in the tournament halls, will have 5 to 6 pieces of terrain each because that's tournament standard, and they will be of good quality without being. They won't be of the quality that they are downstairs. Do you know what I mean? Because it's tournament play, it's going to get hammered. But the tables downstairs, the demo tables will have decent stuff on them, and then the regular play tables, you'll have choices of terrain. But yeah, it'll good. I just need to answer a question. I don't know whether John's already picked it up or not. But I've just got it through his email.
I can't see one. Yeah.
From Nolsey, this the guy over in Ireland. He was asking me before. He says, "Hi again, Martin. A quick question on the £500 pledge. Is that night out for the opening day of the store, and can the membership be donated to a younger player in your club who might not be able to afford it?" Yes, you can donate the membership. I'm more than happy for you to do that. No, it wouldn't be for the opening night. Simple reason being, if I do a grand opening, I spoke to who did I speak to about it? It was when I was online last Monday night.
It was last week, wasn't it? It was with Ace.
Ace, yeah. I am going to do a grand opening, but I'm going to do it probably about a month after I open the doors, just so that I've settled any bad things, like just teething problems. Yeah. So on the grand opening, I would expect to be that busy that if you're going to pledge £500 to come and play a game with me and have it videoed and then go on YouTube, I need to dedicate myself to you for that day. It's
going to be a weekend event, that type of thing.
Yeah, it is. And I think you need, if you're going to give me that sort of pledge, then I need to give you my undivided attention, and I can't do that on a grand opening. I'm going to be far too busy networking with customers and hopefully selling every piece of stock on the shelf that I couldn't do it. You can come over by all means for the grand opening, but it wouldn't be to do a challenge. We'll do it for another time. So hopefully that answers your question. But yes, if you're not going to benefit from the membership, then you can donate it to somebody in store who, as you say, can't afford it.
Raffle it off.
Yeah, you could do a raffle for it. That would be an even better idea, to be fair. And then the proceeds for that, you could either donate to a charity, or at the end of the day, it's your membership. With my permission, you can do what you want. Memberships are non-transferable as a general rule. But from a pledge point of view, I can kind of get where you're coming from, so I can make exceptions. I like it being my company. I make the rules.
Couple of things. Well, I had a question as well, but I'll cover these ones first. There's one that's come through on the actual Q&A thing from Remco Beers.
Remco, yeah, brilliant guy. We're getting you over.
It says Striking Scorpion has some amazing boards in his videos, but the boards made in the Forge World books, Imperial Armor Masterclass, something awesome like that for the main floor. So yes. I think he's talking about what to aim for would be pretty cool there. Also, I think the Striking Scorpion one, I saw he's reviewed the GameMat.eu. Yeah, so I think he's possibly switched over to those from the front line. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I've just commented on his video over there, mate. You want to put the video up the other day, and I've commented. I'm going to get it. It's on my list to do in this book. Yeah, this is me WarGames book, and on my list to do is contact GamerMat.eu to find out what their stocking policy is. Because I'll stock their game mats, but I don't think. I mean, you guys tell me if this is unreasonable. I've got 15 tables of different sizes, and these companies stock a range of designs in different sizes. I'll sell your mats for you, and I will order them from you rather than from Frontline. I'll order them from Frontline rather than somebody else. But I want one of each design so that I can put it on show to customers, and I don't want to pay for them.
I think it's a reasonable request to have as an advertising point of view, because you're going to have models in the cabinets, you're going to have examples of the games that you're going to be playing.
So if my tables are clad in your mats, but I've not paid for those mats, they're not for sale, they're demo mats for people to play on. When they play on them, I go, yeah, this is the cardboard tube with that one in it, would you like to buy it? And I don't think that's unreasonable. That way it saves me having to buy 15 mats as well. But I think from a business point of view, it makes sense.
I imagine there's some sort of benefit that they'd be able to offer you in that situation. I mean, I think it was yourself? It was some point last year when didn't Game Workshop send you a box of models and stuff like that? Because you were inquiring about setting up a store. You've just got another one.
They've changed the models in there now as well.
What do you get now?
I've actually got a broadside. Still those Dragon Riders of Kaldor, the new tactical squad, and now you get instead of a paint set, you get. Do you remember the little £6 box of Marines that they used to do? You got like 3 Marines in it. Yeah. You get that with tiny little pots of paint, which I can only describe as when you buy an Airfix kit, and you get those. It comes with the paints in those tiny little. Yeah. In those tiny little plastic thimbles. It's one of them. They don't sell them at retail. It's a sample product. But it's 3 boxes that I haven't got to order them.
Yeah. If you need to offload that broadside, I'll.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll be on the shelf for you to have your extra 10%.
The comment tracker itself isn't actually working, so I'm going to have to manually look at these. But Chris is being extra confusing and actually posting comments as Chris and then also as Illusion Miniature Painting, just to be difficult.
Because he's Chris and we love him.
Yeah, right. Okay, so going back a little bit, he says your gaming rate is actually quite cheap, but charging for table hire is perfectly normal.
Yeah.
Fair enough. And he's only just said, in terms of scenery, you want to feature a lot of the stuff you'll be stocking on showcase tables, just used in clever ways to show off your products.
Yeah, that makes sense, doesn't it? And it is. I mean, I mentioned before Foregrounds. I think their terrain's fantastic. It was Beast of War on their weekend last week showed their new trees. I don't particularly get excited about trees because I play 40k and there are no trees in 40k because they're all burnt and perished.
Give
But
them a die.
these foreground trees look amazing. They've got young trees and old trees, and like with the willow is amazing. Like this week, such a they genuinely look great. The buildings look great. Mel, terrain tutor, is for his Patreon. Thing he's built that £150 chateau at the moment, and it's a cracking one. What a good. The scenery is fantastic. I know, Mike, you used some of it with your Dead Man's Hand and that. It's good quality terrain. It's expensive, but it's good. So, yes, I will display what I'm selling. So I'll display the Citadel terrain, the Citadel woods and the Imperial sectors and stuff. I'll display the foreground stuff, and like the Jarvis stuff will be used for flocking and what have you. But I will, and am I going to open floodgates here? Because I've already had a lot of emails over terrain. I am happy for if somebody is a terrain maker, but they are a proper terrain maker, and that's not to knock. Yeah, you can't say this without upsetting people. Some people think they can make terrain, and they can, and it's okay for use in a club or in your house. But I wouldn't have it in my shop.
Presentation quality.
Yeah, and then there are other people, and I will refer to Mel, terrain tutor, because his stuff's outstanding. That board that he's just put up yesterday, with the cork hills and all that, it looks top quality. So if somebody wants to make a set of terrain for any of the game systems that I'm going to be stocking, which is pretty much all of them, by all means get in touch with me. Show me some of your work, and if you want to make a set of terrain for a 6v4 gaming table or a 3v3 gaming table for War Machine or whatever, and you can then, if it's something you're doing as a profession, I'm more than happy for you to make a set of terrain for my store, display it in my store, and it will be played on, but next to it would be your details or a catalogue of your product, or whether it's just a business card. I don't know how you want to display it, so that I can sell your commission via the store. So people will play on it and go, oh, this terrain's fantastic. All right, well, if you want to buy a set of that, I don't sell it personally, but if you go and speak to Bob's Terrain, he makes that stuff. Does that make sense? So I get a set of terrain made for my store, and you potentially get some promotion business out of it. Yeah, it's free advertising. 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 I just made that word up.
I actually had a question with regards to the fees per table kind of thing. So you've got someone who's a member.
Yes.
Can they bring in a friend and play on the table if their friend is not a member, or do they have to pay like a guest fee, or do you want a payment from each person on the table? How does that work?
It's each person.
Okay.
So if you've got two of you are members, then neither of you pay. If you've got one a member and one isn't, then one pays. But, and this is something I thought about last week, and I've not really voiced out there yet because I've not fine-tuned it. So again, in Martin fashion, let's just do it live on air. I think for new gamers, people who are just getting into the hobby, it's not right to start charging them to play, because what I want to do is attract them into the hobby. So you would be given some sort of leeway for your first maybe 5 or 10 games whilst you're getting into the hobby. You wouldn't pay to use the tables whilst you're learning the game. After you've played those 5 or 6 games, 5 or 10 games, whatever, then the charge will kick in. And that way, if you were bringing a friend in, you wouldn't have to pay. Or if, say for example, Mike and Mike came from Cardiff and Manchester and came over, then they're only ever going to be in there once. So I'm not going to charge them for that. It's more... In fact, no, that wouldn't work, would it?
You just put that down to manager's discretion though, at that
Yeah,
point.
I think
Put
that would be.
anything
I think if you're subscribed to my YouTube channel and I know who you are, you're not paying for games. No money mess. That's suddenly a big click, then, isn't it?
Yeah.
But no, I
On
think
the
initial games, like for newcomers into the hobby, I don't want to charge those people. I want to make it as easy for new recruits to get into wargaming as possible. Because let's be honest, we have got a finite existence, and we need new people into the hobby. Because once we've gone, who's going to carry it on?
You could just have like a beginners. If like today is
Yeah.
beginners X game, beginners Y game, and if you're playing in beginners, then you won't have to pay for a table because it's like something you're putting on as the store. It's not something they're coming to do off their own back.
Yeah, that's it. And it would be demo tables anyway. And the demo tables, in theory, are always free because demo games are free. You don't pay for it. Because somebody sent me a message and I couldn't get my head around it. It was, why are you charging for tables? I don't agree with that. Maybe you should rethink it. I don't want to have to pay just to come and browse your store. I was like, I'd never said for 1 minute that you've got to pay to come and look. You can come and look, you can come and sit in the chill out area and have coffees. You can come and use the hobby area and paint your models. No charge for that. The charge is literally for using tables that are on the main retail floor. Bear in mind, there are three more floors above that are going to have another 50 tables. So if you want to put your club in my shop, if you wanted to bring, I don't know, a club from London, like if Ace wanted to bring his club up for a weekend out, they can just hire my tournament room out, and they can go and play the games up there. If you wanted to have an Apocalypse game one weekend, and you had Ace or you want an Apocalypse game, you just pay a fee to hire the room out. You've got a private area to play Apocalypse then, without having to bring all your own bullets and terrain. Things like that, isn't it? Does that answer it? I don't know whether it does. I think I was.
Yeah, no, that's fine. It was just to clarify that. You're paying not per table, then you're playing per player.
Yes.
Basically, is the
yeah, it's a pay to play. So each person has to pay to play, unless you are a brand new beginner. And let's be honest, I will know who those beginners are. And once you've had a few games, say once you've got the hang of it and you're 5 or 6, 7 games in, then I'd say, right, listen, you need to start paying now. Because I'm also happy, whilst you are, in fact, not even just for beginners, my own personal armies are going to be in the cabinets. So my whole White Scars Brotherhood will be in a cabinet. When I win the Ultramarines raffle tomorrow, that will be in the cabinet. Jedi Mind Tricks. When I finally get round to painting me Death Guard, they'll be in the cabinet. My Dark Elf will be in the. Yeah, but I can't speak for your tab. If there is an army in the cabinet, I am happy for people to hire those armies for use. So if you're getting into the game and you want to try a few different ideas, I've got 5 or 6 different armies that you can make pretty much any list from. So if you want to, you can test play with my armies to see whether or not that's the mechanic that you like. So if you want to try knits out, but you think, oh, it's a lot of money to sink into, play a game with my army, and you can hire them out. And I don't mean like a chargeable hire. I mean just use them. They're toys. I want people to use my toys. That's fine. Oh, we've got another backer. Another £50 backer in there. Fantastic. That puts us on £1,482. 13 viewers. £50 pledges. Do you know what?
You're going to have to start singing, Martin.
The question is, what do you want me to sing?
Now that is the next pledge-a-thon.
What
do we want them to sing?
We're £18 away from 1,500 quid. How good's that? Considering we don't even know. Yeah. £1,482 is currently pledged. That's absolutely stunning. Literally, I might get all Gwyneth Paltrow in a minute and do an emotional speech. 29% funded. Fantastic. Yes.
Like these type of things that are obviously working. You know, people are getting a chance to ask questions and get the responses out there. They want to know what they're gonna get.
Well, that's it. It goes back to the whole thing that I've said 14 times. I'm not just asking for people to put money into a store that's randomly situated anywhere in the country. I'm asking people to get behind me, Martin McNeil. Forget the store. The store is going to be good. I don't doubt that. I wouldn't do it if I didn't put my heart and soul into it. Paul, you said when we were going around the store, it's obvious that I've got a very, very clear vision in what I want to do with it. Mike, you said in the video that shout out video you did for me, which I'm grateful for. You said that you can imagine that I've got literally every single square inch of this plan covered, and yes, I have, because I've gone, oh, this has been happening in here for over 12 months.
Just if anyone's trying to imagine what it was like walking through the stores, if anyone's ever seen any of the CSIs, where they're planning out a murder scene, I'm walking through this empty store and it's completely pitch black. The ceiling fell in. It was dust everywhere, and it's like walking around one of them CSI imaginary crime scenes. Like, this is what happened. This is here. That's there. This is here. That's there. That's exactly what it's like, and I could picture it. So, what if it's even half of what I imagined? Martin imagines it's like. I thought it was awesome. So it's gonna be. To be honest, the space you've got, it's
never
unreal. It is unreal. We were walking through this store, and it was like, we go up one flight of stairs, and it was like, right, we'll go up the next flight of stairs. I'm like, okay, it keeps going. Another flight of stairs, another flight of stairs, and then another flight of stairs.
Well, it was that point, wasn't it, when I said to you, you turn to the one's massive, I said, we have to hit the halfway point, yes.
Yeah, exactly. It showed me like 3 floors at this point, and I was like, wow, this. You've got some space here. It was like, yeah, we've still got to go. Keep going.
Yeah.
And then,
sorry, go on, carry on.
Yeah, and then like we finally get to the last room in it, and I think the last room is what the YouTube community and the rest of the world who aren't going to be visiting the store regularly are going to see. And I think what would be a good idea at this point on the subject of describing the store is what's going to go on in that loft.
Yeah, and what I was about to say was I'm torn, and we've got 12 people watching and 4 of you on with me and whatever else happened. So I'm going to go make a coffee in a minute because my Star Wars mug is empty and it needs to be filled. That, and also I've just had a text message off my wife to say that she's on her way down to make a bottle for the baby. So I'm not going to close it, but I'm going to mute my microphone in just 2 minutes. But I want questions and answers either on the Q&A here or on the comments, and you guys talk about it between yourselves. Paul, you've physically seen it, so you can be the sort of the instigator, if you like, of it. I am prepared to do a video walkthrough of the store. Go and take my camera, go up to the shop on Monday, Tuesday, and just go and film the store so that everybody can see the space that I'm talking about. The reason I'm reluctant to do it is because I've got this vision. I can see how it's going to look. I can see past the tiles that are on the floor, where the ceiling, where the polystyrene ceiling tiles fell down because there was some water damage. I can see past the dark red carpets. I can see past the shoe racks and all those things.
You can see past the bin bags full of bodies and.
Well, we just won't film them ones.
Oh, right, okay, sorry.
But I can see past all that. But I think, is it right to put a video up of it in its raw state now? Is anyone going to get anything from that? I've got somebody working on a 3D SketchUp of the main 3 floors, the retail floor, the chill out area, and the hobby area. Is it better just to show a 3D image, like a computer-generated image of what it's going to look like, or would you really like to see what's actually going on in there? Talk about it amongst yourself. 13, 12 guys who are watching, put some comments in and tell me what do you want me to do. You make the decision whether or not I'm going to show you next week the store, or whether or not you're going to wait and see it as a computer image. So you've got about 3 minutes.
Well, there's no questions at the moment, and the only comment that's in is that Darby's back. So I don't know. What do you guys think?
Does any of you guys got any questions about it? I mean, that's
Got
Martin
to mute
said
my mic,
that.
sorry.
Always wants to steal the show.
I think having both would be good. Like layered, like you have this is how it looks, this is how the sketch is going to look, and then later on you can have like this is how it actually looks now up and running with it. It gives people a good idea, a good sort of idea of the space, and with the sketches sort of going over it as well, you can really see like the vision, I guess.
Yeah, what the intention is behind it. You to be honest, no doubt there'll be videos to describe it. If he goes with the 3D image of the store, I've tried to say go for the walkthrough because the space is unbelievable. It really is. What it was, what the building's actually an old listed building, and it's in the middle of Lord Street, which is a high street in Southport, and it's one of the busiest streets in Southport. And just the outside space, it's eye catching. First of all, once you put the sign up, it's going to be, you're going to know, everyone's going to know to go to that shop for any hobby supplies and things like that if you're into it, and it's going to pique people's interest. The space you've got inside it for the gaming, it's I've never seen any type of hobby centre that will have this type of space. I've never seen any gaming club that can offer what is going to be available here. And we're talking, I think it was 6 floors, maybe 7 flights of stairs. I think I went up. One into the basement, one into the mezzanine. Yeah, maybe 7 or 8 flights of stairs. Maybe I got up just to get into the final room in the place. And if he does a 3D model up of the main 3 floors that people are going to see, you're going to get an idea of you're going to get a small idea of the space, I think, because you'll see then the table layout and the storage on the walls and things like that. And then obviously the chill out zone that he's going to have in the hobby area, he's going to have a visual walkthrough for everyone who wants to see it. Will definitely benefit of showing people what is going to be available there.
Yeah, that does sound like the way to go.
Now we're getting on with the pledges. Is there being any more? Do you know, or? No?
I don't know offhand, but I can find out, I think.
I want to it myself now.
Nosy's saying, yeah, I'd like to see both a kind of before and the vision of after. Yeah.
Before and a vision of after. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. I got only £18 off £1,500, £1,500, and that's a massive jump over £500 just tonight. That's incredible.
Okay, Chris is saying, I would film it for later, and once you are close to up and running, you can then do an intro featuring before and after. Before the 3D model will be better for showing us what you want to achieve during the Kickstarter. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. That would probably, to be perfectly honest, I'm not 100% sure who he's got doing the 3D modeling. It just depends if they get that finished, but no doubt you'll see both. And I think he mentioned when you show me around the store, obviously the idea of wanting to show it to people and wanting to show what the store's going to be like. I think he mentioned doing a kind of a as it's coming together, because it does need a little bit of work on it. There's carpets and things like that need replacing, and a couple of licks of paint, and he said there was a little bit of water damage, but that just needs that's all fine and sorted. The building manager's all dealt with all of that. Or sorry, the owner of the building, who got the space off, has sorted all that. That's all being repaired, but there's just a little bit of cosmetic work that needs doing onto it. So I think that's why he's hesitant to show it all as it is straight away, just in case people can't look past what it is at the moment. But a definite one. What he wants was a process of now here's where it's starting and here's where it's going to end up, and take you through that evolution, so to speak, from getting in the store to opening the doors.
Right, that's all the comments.
Yeah.
There aren't any other questions on there either, so yeah, I think that's that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if there are any more comments, they're not showing up just yet.
Not showing up just yet. What about other game systems that Martin's possibly not mentioned? Is there anything that anyone would specifically like to see? No, he's mentioned all your standards. Obviously, he's going to have all your GW ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like your X-Wings and things like that. War Machine and Hordes and Malifaux. Or is there anything else other people want to see possibly in the store that maybe not being mentioned?
The only other game I know of that, I don't really play it, but I have some models for, so I don't really think it's a good maybe table choice, is the Relics thing. But I think Relics is very regional at the moment.
Yeah, I don't see a problem with having it in. Wouldn't be a massive amount of stock in there, but it's not a big investment to put in either. And it's all of those. It's like we spoke about Dead Man's Hand. Mentioned that. That's not a massive game that people are playing, but it's cool enough that you can. For me to invest in putting that in the store is only a couple of £100, and I might sell of it, but I wouldn't be worried about having deep stock levels of the likes of Relics or Dead Man's Hand or Dust Tactics. The not so big games, I'll have a small amount of stock, because if it sells out, then I'll just reorder it. And anybody that's buying it because it's a niche product will generally be happy to wait for it, I think. It's not like GW where I've got to always have 10 boxes of Tactical Marines. I can't have less than 10 in stock, because I'll sell out. The minute you sell out of them, you lose customers, I think, don't you? So, but bottle is upstairs. Coffee is in hand. I've trusted you with my feet. Maybe foolish, maybe not. We will find out when I watch it back tomorrow.
I think.
What was the verdict?
I think the general consensus is people would like to see both a walkthrough and also the 3D modelling, so you can get an image of what it's like at the moment and your aspirations for what it should be like when it's finished.
Yeah,
It seems to be the general consensus people want in the comments.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, because I'm going to do like a bit of a anybody that watches Homes Under the Hammer. I was always going to do that when I opened up anyway. This is what it was like, and then do that really cheesy swipe where it comes across and then it comes back and it's like, this is what it is now. Get that Carol Smiley down here. She can do a 60-minute makeover.
What's the name? The Scouse one who does it?
Oh,
Claire Sweeney.
Claire Sweeney. Yeah, she was here, wasn't she?
Yeah. I thought she'll probably be hard up. She won't.
Do you remember Brookside?
Do you remember Brookside? Yeah, not that young.
I thought you were just a puppy.
Yeah. Was born in the 80s, late 80s.
I literally just about made the 80s. I say that. Listen, I say I was born in the 70s. I was born halfway through 1979. That's not being born in the 70s, but I claim for it. I was a 70s child. But I grew up in the 80s. I grew up in what I would argue is the best decade for a
cartoons.
For a young child or even a teenager to have grown up in. I'm glad I wasn't an adult in the 80s. I think for a young child right through into a school teen, I think the 80s fantastic. We got technology, so we had computers, although they were only Spectrum 48Ks and Commodore 64s and Atari 2600s.
What?
We were getting computers in, but we had cartoons without too much CGI. That all had morals in the story. We had Thundercats, man.
Thundercats, yeah.
It stops at Thundercats. We had Thundercats.
That just wins any argument, then, doesn't it? Really.
Proper Transformers.
Proper Transformers. I was just about to say that.
Original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Exactly, with Shredder and Splinter and April O'Neil and Casey.
Casey Jones.
He ultimately was just Jason Voorhees, wasn't
he? One of my favourites was Ulysses 33, I think it was called. Ulysses was amazing.
And do you remember, I said I was going to sing, so I'm going to do it. The Adventures of Ickban and the Mysterious Cities of Gold.
Yes.
So we will find the cities of gold.
As much as I don't want to be forced to interrupt your singing, Daniel's saying that Daniel Gibbons' comment, a walkthrough of the store site would be awesome, give people a sense of what they're helping you to achieve.
Makes sense. Oh, another backer. Another £50 backer. We've now hit £1,532. I've got to sing. Really? Right, if somebody backs within the next 5 minutes, that will stop me from singing. In fact, I've just sung Ulysses. I'll sing Thundercats. Do that. Hear the magic, hear the roar. Thundercats are loose. Thunder, thunder,
not like this is going to be on the
thunder,
internet.
I'll say this now. You haven't got any thumbs down on the video yet.
Yes. What about if I did I had the power to lift up a flower. It took me an hour or two. He-Man. He-Man was great.
And Dungeons and Dragons. That was a good
Dungeons and Dragons.
TV show.
Without using Google, and there's no way of me checking where these are. Can you name all the characters from Dungeons and Dragons?
No.
I'll give you Venger was the bad guy, and Tier Master was the dragon. Obviously, Dungeon Master was the little baldy guy.
I'm sure Eric was somewhere in
Eric
there.
was the knight, the cowardly knight. Bobby was the little boy with the club, and he had Uni, the unicorn. Was it Jane, one of the girls?
I don't know. I'm out. Eric was my limit. I peaked.
I used to love that cartoon. Proper love that cartoon.
Right, I'll be back in just a second.
Is anybody else there? Fans?
I'll keep an eye on YouTube for you.
Yeah. Mammoth, I don't think I've heard you speak. I've seen you laugh at a lot of things that have been said, but you've not really spoken. So I'm going to give you a 30
No.
second spotlight.
Awesome. Yeah. I think
How's your
it's
Dark Eldar coming on?
slowly. No, I had a bit of life catching up. So I've got about halfway through painting 40 Cabalites, and it's just kind of the off kilter. So I'm planning. I've got bank holiday weekend. I've got 3 days, so I'm planning on blitzing through with them. So I should be getting back on track. Yeah,
Would it
it's been a
upset
long
you?
week at work.
Would it upset you if I said to you that yesterday I painted 36 bikes, Reaver Jet bikes?
Well, see, I've got 12 half painted, and I've got another 6 to do in theory for my May painting challenge.
I didn't paint them
this week.
yesterday. I finished painting them
No.
yesterday. That was a better way of saying it. But I have now got 36 Kill Bill jet bikes. So they're all, like that video that I did a couple of months ago, so they're all yellow Uma Thurman suits, black gloss helmets, and a black stripe going down their arm. I put them on the table last night, mate. They looked awesome. Just literally spread across. It was fantastic. I might even have a picture on my phone.
Did I send you that picture the other day from when I was in Ainsdale?
Yeah, that was amazing. In fact, I've got that. In fact, so this is what Dawn sent me the other day.
Yeah.
It's a guy bike suit with a black stripe. I was just like, yeah, that's amazing. How clear was that picture from a phone on the
It looked okay.
That was alright.
Right, yep.
It was alright, yeah.
Just very
That.
quickly. Oh, carry on.
Anyway, it's all together. So that was
Wow.
most of the bikers I sent us. It's not that shot. But it just looked awesome on the field. I was like, yeah.
That's awesome.
Gutted, by the way, Mammoth Mike, that you're really glad that you've got a new job and that that's definitely good news. But gutted, obviously, that you're not going to make Warhammer Mania now.
Yeah. Oh, likewise.
But it'll be at
Yeah.
WarGames next year, not at Warhammer World, so it'll be fine.
Yeah. That's all right.
Okay, there's a couple of comments. Nosy's just saying that's just a kick-off to get you over the 1500 mark. We'll mull over the higher pledges. Delighted to be part of this amazing venture. Sing that song. And Chris has jumped in with Eric, Presto, Hank, Diana, Sheila, and Bobby. No Google.
Hank Presto was the green wizard. Hank was the archer boy. Who did he say the girls were?
He's got Eric, Presto, Hank, Diana,
Sheila.
and Bobby.
Sheila was the one with the purple hood who could make herself invisible, and Diana was the one with the pole vault thing, like the staff. I'm sure I'm right with that. Well done, Chris. 10 bonus points for Chris. Spend them wisely.
Internet points, Chris. You win the internet.
Sing that song. Yeah,
Has anyone ever seen the
Ready for Battle? Is
Going
it
on a
still
slight-
live? Yes, it is still live. Ready for Battle.
On that front, I'm going to have to slope off in about 12 minutes. Just
Okay, that was about as precise as it gets.
I was to be perfectly honest.
12 minutes. 12 minutes and 32 seconds if you want to be precise.
I was going
I
to
have
say
to laugh.
15, but yeah, I looked at my phone and it was like, oh yeah, 12. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just taking the mic, don't worry. You know me well enough, John.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously people are going to get off. I mean, I scheduled this for 2 hours. How long have we been on now? More than 2. Yeah, I started at about 9:05, didn't I? So, yeah, it wouldn't be me if it didn't overshoot the time.
It wouldn't be you if it was short, concise, and to the point.
Well, everybody's shocked that I managed to get my Kickstarter video at 10 minutes. And believe you me, the first recording of that was 47 minutes. Then we recorded it and got it down to about 32, and then it went into the 20s a few times, and then into teens. And I was struggling. At 15 minutes, I was like, I can't cut 5 minutes out, and I somehow managed it. It's hard work.
Well, there's at least like 3 solid minutes of you not talking in this video. Granted, you were away, but
I'd like to say I'm insulted by that, but hey. You can't beat him, join him. You can't
That
go.
was awesome.
Beeps. I make up for all the people that can't talk.
that's your excuse and you're sticking to it.
Stuck with it for life. Do you know what, though? The amount of times, and the point is, I know that I talk so much, and I know that it's me and it's my personality. And whenever I try not to do it, so I actively try to not talk as much and just be more on point and precise, people then ask me what's wrong, and people start thinking I'm in a mood with them, or that I'm angry, or I'm upset, or something. And I'm like, well, I can't bloody wink, can I? No. We'll just get on with it. So we're 30% funded, with 38 backers and 21 days to go, £1,532 pledged. How good is that?
That's solid, man.
Awesome.
And it's not even payday yet.
Yep.
I'm guessing that the Gnarly, not Zine, sorry, who's just put that comment up saying that that's just to get you the 1,500. He must be the guy that's just put £50. The name doesn't match up, if you know what I mean. But I'm guessing that's it, which is fine.
The comment was 6 minutes ago, which would fit with roughly fit with that pledge, I think.
Yeah, I think it's got to be. I'll just. Yeah, since we came on, that's 500 plus an increased pledge of another 150, so that's £650 pledged on a pledge-a-thon. So we've nearly doubled what I arrived with tonight. So that's impressive stuff. That
More impressive that, like you say, it's mid-month, so
Well, yeah. We've got a consistent stream of sort of 7 to 10 viewers, which is good. And that'll be people jumping in and out constantly, which is great. And there are then those insane people who will sit there tomorrow and watch 3 or 4 hours of this while they're hobbying, and that's good. That's great. I think it was James and his stuff, James Logan, that one that me and Jerry did, which was never meant to be an 8-hour hangout, but when we realised we were about 5 hours, we just both made an agreement live on air and just said, you know what, let's just see when it stops, because we didn't know that it was an 8-hour thing. And then I started getting a countdown, and we dragged it like till 6 o'clock in the morning, did a full 8 hours. James watched the whole thing next day. I was like, that's dedication now.
he's a good lad.
He is great, that James.
I remember seeing that on your feed, and I was like, I watched the first 10 minutes of it and was like, no, 8 hours of this, no thanks.
There were pockets of interest throughout the 8 hours, but I wouldn't
spend 8 hours
to sit there just to find those pockets. It's one of them. It's all right if you're going to do a day of hobbying, then fine, have it on in the background, because ultimately it was almost a bit like was it Peter Sellers and who was the guy who used to do the chat? The Peter Sellers. He used to be with somebody else on stage, and they just have a drink. They just get drunk and just chat. And the more drunk they got, somebody will tell you who it is. Peter Sellers.
Well, whilst you're racking your brains, Spud said, "Hey up, lads. Sorry, did a stream of my own. Hope you're all well."
Who said that?
So Spud's watching. Spud.
All right, cool. So it's his finish, so we can get all his viewers now as well. Even better. But yeah, no problems. I didn't know you had one planned. Sorry, mate. I'm not sorry actually, because I've earned money.
He's been doing plenty. Ace has said, just watching you after my game. Great going, Martin. So Ace is watching.
Brilliant, mate.
Yeah, he just had his first victory with his fish heads.
Yeah, I saw the photo that he put on the group chat thing before of the army. That's going to be an interesting game between you two, isn't it?
Hopefully, yeah.
You've got Dirty Eldar, and he's got Dirty Tau.
I don't know if he's bringing his Tau.
I play both of them armies.
Enough said. See, I
don't know.
I've got 36 bikes. I can't really argue with it.
haven't you got an A and an Eldar army anyway?
Yes, pre-Craftware Codex.
Pre-Craftware Codex.
So mine was when it was all right to take one Wraith Knight. I then took 3. Took 1 Wraith Knight, 1 Wraith Lord, and Wraith. I had a Wraith army, which was fine because that was fluffy. But now I'd feel dirty taking it.
No, it's still fluffy.
Chris is back in with another save. It's Dudley Moore, I believe, is your name that you were searching for.
Dudley Moore,
was it Sellers and what? Was it Cook? Was it Peter Cook then? Not Peter Sellers. Was it Cook?
Yeah, it was Peter Cook. Peter Cook and Dudley Moore.
That's it. Yeah, that's who it was. And they just used to get pissed on stage, didn't they? Just chat over the microphones. And the more drunk they got, the funnier the conversation was. Just hilarious. That's who it was. It wasn't Peter Sellers. It was Peter Cook. Cook and Moore. Yeah. But Chris, if I ever get on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, you're one of my phone friends. Do they even still do that shit?
Spud, I think so. They certainly do in other countries as well. Like,
I don't speak Spanish, so I can't really go on the Spanish one.
Well, they do. I think they have an Aussie one, and there's also the US one, so you'd be fine. I don't think they'd be able to understand you, but yeah.
You wouldn't let me on.
Yeah, Spud saying no worries at all. I was doing Kings of War stuff. Good to see some of the other lads. I'm sub 2 and the legendary Mike.
I would expect that's better. I was expecting to see like a big beam come from Mike's face then when he was just being called a legend. And Kings of War, Spud, I'm going to talk to you at some point about that because I want it. I want into it, as well as Mars Attacks. I want a few of the Mantic bits, to be fair. And I don't know whether I'm better. Mantic's a weird one. I can go straight to Ronnie and get it direct from Mantic, or I can get it potentially cheaper through a distributor, which is weird. But I need to talk to somebody who understands. Mars Attacks is fine because it's just a box game. Kings of War, I need to talk to somebody who understands it about putting it into stock and what sort of depth of stock you need with a game like that. So at some point, mate, we'll have a little bit of a teamwork. I'm guessing he's watching, so if he isn't, that was a wasted conversation.
Well, you'll be able to catch him in the Unpro Paintballs group anyway.
Yeah, definitely. 100%. Ready for the battle. Have you guys seen Interstellar? Love the movie. I'm thinking of watching it right now while I'm watching the guys and I'm playing next year at WarGames. I like that. That's a boss comment. That you're sitting drinking whilst watching a movie, whilst watching us, knowing that next year you're going to be playing against us. That's like dedication to the cause, that, mate. Getting drunk watching a movie whilst watching us. Because you're going to
talk about a hobby shop that isn't open yet. That
he's going to be playing
games
next year in place of Warhammer World, because it'll be Warhammer Mania, but it'll be Wargame Mania, and there will be other games involved. Because at Warhammer Mania, I can pretty much only do 40k fantasy, and if anybody really wants to, Hobbit. It's not going to happen. the laugh is all that it needs.
Yeah.
But
Sorry,
at my
I
place,
just
playing it.
no. I understand that there are people that enjoy that, but really, like, GW
Lord of the
literally
Rings
just
was
going to
huge.
do
Lord of the
shit.
Rings. Lord of the Rings was pretty awesome, like small skirmish game.
Well, it made them a fortune, didn't it?
Yeah, well, yeah.
As well.
But that's just the direction they're taking fantasy now. Apparently, with the new edition is going to be, you can join at any level, so the skirmish stuff is going to be there anyway.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's pretty large army focused, but you'll also then be able to do that in a new one as well.
Yeah, hopefully that's the idea. I think Kings of Wars probably has a lot to do with the change in fantasy, because it's so simple to pick up and get into. Kings of War, apparently, I've not played it. Fantasy needed to sort of step back and take a look at what the market's doing. They've owned that fantasy market since the 80s, and nobody's ever touched them for it. And I think now that so many other game companies are coming out, GW have had to, whether they admit to it or not, they've had to sort of step back and go, well, do you know what? We're still the biggest, we're still the best, but we can't be so arrogant about it. These people are snipping at our heel.
Oh, did we just lose mine?
May well have.
Oh,
It's a great game to get
oh
into.
no, there we go. He's back.
There we go. Just went quiet for a bit there, Martin. Thought we'd lost you.
Hoped.
Well, I've got one more comment from Spud, and then I'm going to have to love you and leave you guys. So his comment is, so what's everyone's plans, wargaming-wise, over the weekend?
Okay. Are you jumping out now, or are you listening to the answers? Or
I'll wait until the answer and then say my goodbyes. It's cool.
my weekend is going to consist of tomorrow morning. I've got no wargaming. Am I here?
Yep.
Yeah.
Am I back? Yeah. So my wargaming for the weekend is nothing. Wow.
That was a great answer.
Yeah,
I can follow that up with pretty much the same. I'm in work tomorrow and Sunday, and then Monday I've got to finish off a TAU commission, and that's it. Anyone else?
Continuing to scratch build orc stuff and trying to source Deathcopters on eBay on the cheap.
Good luck.
Yeah.
I've got 40 Cavalite Warriors to finish off. Realistically, I should get them done. Optimistically, I'll start a Void Raven as well, but on that. But
My head's about to explode because I'm listening to the same conversation 3 times over here.
Right. Have you got your YouTube open and also the Q&A open? You need to mute those two.
I've got YouTube open, but it's muted. I just keep getting the same. It's just playing in a loop.
Might have a little bit of a lag.
No, the mute must have gone off. That was like literally freaking me out. I couldn't deal with that then from the hours.
You can see it on your face. It was just like, oh my god, what's going on? This technology is dumbfounding me.
I just got into an 80s horror movie there and there was no way out. It was like I was going to get sucked in. Carry on, carry on. Oh man. Alright now. Well, I heard all the answers 3 times, so it was fine. I think we're okay. Yes. I don't need my YouTube open, so I'm going to close in case that crazy stuff happens again. I'm going to press refresh on the Kickstarter just in case.
I've
Right,
just done it.
boys.
No change.
I am out of here. So thank you for the invite. I hope you get a bit more cash by the end of the night. If not, I'm sure you'll get plenty next week. And
Yeah.
I will. I'll catch you on the Facebook group anyway.
Yeah, mate. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for being a comment monkey.
That's all right.
I shall
Happy to
catch
play
you tomorrow.
comments, bitch, anytime.
At least I was polite. I called you.
Just say it how it is. It's fine.
Alright, then see you later, bitch.
Right. Take it easy, guys.
See you, John.
See you, man.
Right. Paul, you're on comment duty.
I'm on comment duty. I was just gonna leave as well.
Oh, are you? Okay.
I've got to work in the morning.
Oh, boo hiss.
I know. It's terrible,
Okay.
isn't it?
Well,
I need-
Mike's, you're on comment duty. To be fair, they're coming through to my phone anyway. What time? Do you know, it's midnight, isn't it? Have we got, let's be honest, have we got anything more we need to go through, or shall I wrap it at 3 hours? I can stay on.
I'd like your opinion, Martin, as quick as possible on the political state
ask
of
me
the
to
country.
Right, let's start. We only get an 8 hour hangout, so we need to start a fresh one. Half one. Do you know what? On that note, I will keep this brief. I had a conversation with somebody about politics and business, and I will not be drawn into political conversations with customers because
Don't blame you.
I will disagree with somebody somewhere along the line, and it will end up costing me business because I think this about that policy and that about another policy. The honest answer is, I think they're all a bunch of dickheads, and none of them are fit to run the country. But we voted Conservatives as a country. I didn't, but we did as a country, and that's who got in. And you know what? They didn't do a bad job over the last 5 years, so let's see what they do over the next 5 years. And that's me on politics. Done.
Fair comment.
Because if I say any more, I'll get into trouble. Spud saying good night. He's going to bed. So peace out, Spud.
Spud.
And yeah, I'll put it to Paul. You said you're going to have to go, but Mike and Mike, I'll put it to you guys. If you want to stay on and chat, we can do, or we can wrap it. It's entirely up to you.
Oh, don't mind, don't mind. I was going to ask you about your how many staff are you going to have up there? Is it just going to be you as a one-man band to start off with, or are you going to?
Oh no. Good question. Very well. So, one of the big problems with GW and why GW fails is because they've got one-man stores.
Yeah.
When you've got a one-man store, you have to be closed 2 days a week because nobody will work 7 days unless they own the business. I'll work 7 days.
Yeah.
You have to close for toilet breaks, you have to close for lunch breaks. So instantly, I'm open over a third more a year than what the GW store that's less than 1,000 yards away from me is. That's how close I am to GW Southport. It's 2 roads away, but it's 1,000 yards. So it's not far at all. It's a par 5. In fact, it's probably not even 1,000 yards. I reckon I could eagle it. That's my way of looking at it.
Probably could actually. Yeah.
It's about right, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Might
It is
be a
literally.
long par 5.
Yeah.
The fact that you put it on concrete, the ball will roll further, so you're all right.
Yeah. You'd come out to where your shop is, take a left and a right, and you're there, aren't you?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
But the other thing that bugs me about the one-man stores is, so the manager of a one-man store, if they're doing a demo game, the only reason you do a demo game is because you're trying to get somebody into your own recruit into the hobby. And when you're selling anything, you pique people's interest, you bring them up and up and up and up and up and up. So you get this person right up there, the jugular's exposed, you're ready to go in for the jugular, and you've got them. It's not as vicious as that in this hobby, but you know what I mean? From a sales point of view, you're piquing someone's interest to convert them to a sale. And then the phone rings. So the manager goes and answers the phone, and that person starts deflating a little bit and coming down. So you go back and you lift it back up again, and then somebody wants a white dwarf or a pot of paint from the till. So they start deflating because you've gone off there. I can't have that. It doesn't work with me. So I will have minimum 2 members of staff on the floor at any one time. To be me, one guy who I've got in place, and then the third guy, whatever his name is or her name, is they're going to be called Bob. Because in my business plan and in any conversations I've had, this third person is just as evolved as Bob, a bit like Blackadder and Baldric. Hello, Bob. And so, like for example, if I employed Mike, you would be called Mike, but I'd call you Bob. And this person's going to have to accept that they are called Bob. And there will be 3 of us in on a Saturday, 2 at any other point of the day, other than half an hour lunch where there'll only be 1 person on the floor, and I'd just have to kind of live with that bit. Opening hours, I'm going to be open from 12 midday. So Monday to Friday, we're going to be at 12, probably 11 because I'll get there early. And then I'll be closing on a Monday either 6 or 8, I think 8 o'clock. Tuesday 8 o'clock, and then Wednesday and Thursday I'm going to stay open until 11. And then on a Friday I'm going to stay open until 8. So 2 nights a week. Those people that work, the people that work in normal jobs, that are, like I say, a 9 till 5 type job, Monday to Friday, they're the people who've got the money to spend on the hobby, but they've got no time to play. So being open till 8 o'clock doesn't cut it. You don't get a game in. So I want you in through till 11 o'clock and you can spend your money. And then Saturday would be normal 10 till 6 and Sunday 11 till 4, whatever the trading laws are on that. It goes by square footage apparently, the time you're allowed to be open till. And that would be opening hours and staff. If I get busy, i.e. if I do a lot better than I'm expecting to, I'll have to employ more staff. But I don't think there's a shortage of staff, a shortage of people wanting to be staff, I should say.
Well, on that subject there, Martin, just before I go, you have had a comment again off Ready for Battle saying, "You will get my dream job, Martin. Your idea is my plan B if I ever get unemployed."
Okay. So is that you saying you want to come and work for me? Or that you will get my dream job, Martin? Your idea is my plan B if I ever get unemployed. Right, so if you came out of work, you'd open up. Do we? Just quit tomorrow. Just quit your job tomorrow and open a hobby store. Fantastic. It's good for the soul. Don't do it. Seriously, don't. It's not for the faint-hearted. This. Just having money to do it isn't enough. Just having an idea isn't enough. The research I put into this, I've seen a lot of hobby shops around the country and spoken to a lot of people who failed. And the reason they failed is they've either had too small a vision or they've tried to do it on too much of a budget, i.e. a one-man store with living. You get these hobby shops that open up, one-man store, tiny little place, like somebody's front living room almost, and they've got the 1 meter racket of GW stock, and then they've got a few little bits, a few Airfix kits and that. You're never, ever going to survive as a business on a 1 meter GW rack. It's my expression all over again. That American expression is go big or go home. I made a very clear decision when I decided to do this was I'm either going to do it massive or I'm not going to do it. Because it wouldn't work. I don't think this day and age you've got the time to grow as a business. You've got to hit the ground running, and it's a one-shot opportunity. When a customer comes in, it's an impulsive hobby. They come in, they don't just buy a box of Marines. They buy a box of Marines, a Rhino, a Storm Tower, a Codex. and 6 other paints that they never had because they're there on the shelf. If they're not on the shelf, they'll never buy them. They're not going to say, oh yeah, well, can I order them and I'll pick them up next week? They buy them because they're there. You've got to have the stuff in front of them. If you're short on something, yes, they will put a web order in. As long as the bulk of stuff is there, they'll then add to it. But, and I just think you only get one opportunity with people.
I think with this hobby on that subject, it goes back to the expression that I've heard a couple of times on the internet. It's plastic crack.
It is, yeah.
We need that fix. We need that fix, and as much as people complain about the prices that, say, Games Workshop offer, still going to spend me money there.
Of course you are.
Well, obviously when your shop opens, still going to spend me money there. I need the fix. If I don't get the fix, I'm like a junkie.
Exactly. And you try to walk away from it and you come back to it.
You can't do it.
Drug. And the 4 of us that are sat here, if we even vaguely attempted to put a pound value to what we've spent on the hobby, I think we could easily open my store.
I'll grab, right? I'm just gonna log off, but I'll grab the nearest model to me in regards to the pound value that I can put on this, and this is probably the cheapest model I've got in the house at the moment. And
That's not your Tam Manta then that you're getting divorced for.
No. It is me Tau Tiger Shark though.
Yeah. And what was that about? 80 quid?
And the rest. That's with your discounts though.
I don't know much about those days.
155, I think that one was.
Wow. Scary, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's just next to me, and that is on top of an old Tyranid commission that's in a box, and that's probably about 300 quid worth of stuff as well.
It's daft.
You know,
Mike and I both own Viva Titans. And
yeah, well, there you go.
You're not getting a lot of change out of them. I know I want a Warlord Titan, and
I
really want a Warlord Titan, but it's 1,200 quid. The shop needs them.
Awesome.
Stretch goal.
It is.
Stretch goal. Yeah.
Awesome. The Warlord. I was at a
hell of a kit.
Yeah, I was at that.
Oh, I don't know. The missus would kill me because she knows how much the Reaver is now. So it's and as it's twice the size or 2.5 times the size, she'll know how much. You know, we'll see what happens at Warhammer Mania.
I was going to say, but if you say that, well, Martin's opened the store and he got 50% discount, so as part of the YouTube community and all that, he just gave me his full discount. He gave me a cost price.
Cost price, yeah. Maybe. I don't know.
It's how comfortable you are with lying to your wife.
It is.
Yeah. What about yourself? You're gonna get one. You're gonna get one for the shop, are you?
I am. Yeah, but not initially. What I can't be seen to do is just indulge myself. I'm doing a Kickstarter campaign here to get deeper stock levels. If I then go and spend 1,200 quid of that, or whatever 1,200 quid comes from a Warlord Titan, I'm going to upset a few people. So I will say that we've already said a £10,000 stretch goal would be Star Wars Lego. £15,000 stretch goal is a cinema, which I'll touch back onto in a second. If by some freak chance I hit £20,000 funding on Kickstarter, I will buy a Warlord Titan. Not only will I buy a Warlord Titan, I'm going to send it down to South Wales. I'm going to let Mike build and document it. Because that way you get to build one. And ultimately I built my Reaver based on your videos. So you will build it better than I will build it. So if I hit £20,000, Mike, you're getting to build a Warlord Titan.
Well, maybe that's what I'll tell. Maybe that's what I'll tell the missus then. Maybe they'll tell her that's just happened, and that's what's I guess.
Yeah, there you go. The thing is, would you be able to build it and send it back, or would it just get lost in the post and stay in your cabinets?
I was speaking to the guys at the Warhammer World Open Day who built the one that you've seen all the pictures of on YouTube. They said, on the internet, they said it took 2 of them to model it.
Yeah, I can imagine. 7 kilos, isn't it, in weight?
7 kilos. Yeah. The guy he picked. Obviously, it's got the joint at the above the hips, what the body, and he said to get it, the leg can be angled, it can be posed, it can be poised, and all of it is very, very manoeuvrable. And he said to get it right, it took 2 of them about 3 days to get it.
I can easily imagine
for it. It was awesome. And on the subject of Forge World, have you seen the new airbrush? There's something that's just off the cuff.
Absolutely awful.
The finish on them,
haven't they?
Fuming with them.
are they bad? Have you got them or?
I haven't got them. I think I'd have to see what the quality of the actual paint's like. At the end of the day, I think it's going to struggle to be better than Vallejo.
I think it
It
will
might be as good. I don't know. My issue is it's in flip top bottles, which are no good for transferring paint from the bottle to the airbrush. Their argument is it's so that you can pour it back out of the airbrush into the flip top bottle when you've got excess. If you're going to drop a bottle, you very seldom have any excess.
Yeah.
And I just think that's such a bad design. I think that's more a case of we've got millions of these bottles that we bought for our Forge World weathering powders, and let's put airbrush paint in them. Because it's on our shelves, they want to be different. No other airbrush paint is in a flip top bottle. And £3.70 a pot because it says Forge World on it. No, I'm not having that.
No, but they used them. Apparently, they'd used them to paint the Warlord Titan. And I was looking at it. The finish on it is.
I wouldn't necessarily believe that. But man, they've not admitted for the last 10 years that they've been using Vallejo air paints. But that's what they've been using. You get those model masterclass books of Forge World doing they admit in there that they're using other branded products. They talk about Tamiya clear spray and stuff.
Yeah.
And they might be cracking paints. Ultimately, it's a paint that runs through an airbrush, and the Vallejo ones are proven time and time again. Those bad chef ones, those Minotaur, they're not meant to be all that good. I've heard loads of people complain about that Minotaur, but I've not tried it, so I can't comment on it. But at twice the price of Vallejo, or near as damn it twice the price as Vallejo, I don't see why, other than it's saying Forge World, anyone will buy it. But there's a load of people out there that, because it says Forge World, will buy the full range.
Forge World will buy it, yeah. I was just wondering if you'd seen anything of it. They released the range today, didn't they, or at some point this week?
Yeah, they showed them there, didn't they? And there's been a few videos. Spud, who's just been chatting, he did a bit of a rant video about it, and I agree 100% with him. £3.70 for 17mm paint that you're going to waste so much of trying to tip into an airbrush.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
I mean, they're on the site now, and you can't buy them individually. You've got to buy the whole set, 26 pots of paint for the best part of £100.
It's ridiculous.
It's I mean, the cheapest what you can get, 26 to 25 the airbrush range. What's that? 2, 4, 6, 7 pots of paint for £26.
No, it's just wrong, isn't it?
Or your 5 metallics for £18.75. It's not. No thanks.
And those Vallejo metallics, even through an airbrush, those Vallejo metallics are fantastic.
Yeah.
Really good. They just, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And the Vallejo's got it right.
Mike's gone.
So, was that his comment that just came up where he said he forgot to have on the laptop? Yeah.
Yeah. Right, well, I'm going to leave at that point as well because I'm falling asleep and got my laptop. So, no doubt I'll catch you through the week. Take it easy. It was nice to meet you, Mike.
Yeah, likewise. Yes, catch you again.
See you again.
So it is me and Lee then, Mike.
Indeed, it is. Yes. Yeah.
And we've still got 6 viewers watching us.
Have we really?
Yeah, I think it is weird, these hangouts, aren't they? Especially when they're live.
It's my first time.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I'll take it easy then.
I'm always at work. It's everything evenings and stuff. Like you said, I'm on garden leave at the moment, so well, not really, but
I know what you mean. Yeah.
But yeah. So So you and Bob and your other member of staff, you'll manage your like online sales between you then, will you? Or is it on a day
Yeah,
run?
unless it
At the
goes
end of the day, how we?
as and when they come in. So the way my web store is going to be set up, the way the guys designing it, when you go onto my website and you place your order, so let's say you wanted to buy, I don't know, a Storm Raven, a Land Raider, box of Terminators, and a box of Tactical Marines. And that was what your order was. And I've not got the Land Raider in stock because it's a live stocking system, and I think that's quite important to have as well. Rather than being like some of those other online retailers. So you put them all in your basket, you go to checkout, and it will turn around and it will say to you, 3 items in stock, Land Raider to follow within 10 business days. So 48-hour delivery on these 3 items, Land Raider to follow within 10 business days. Would you like to proceed? So it's giving you the option of saying, actually, no, I want it all right now. I don't want to wait 10 days for it. Then you can cancel the whole order, or you can just take part of it. I'd sooner be upfront with people at that point and not upset them rather than 2 weeks later when their stuff arrives, they start moaning at me. So that would be the first part of the process. As soon as you then click pay and you're paid with whatever payment method, the only thing I'm not going to take is American Express because the charges are daft for American Express. Right? Yeah, it's 8% of each transaction that they charge, and it's so expensive. That's why most places don't take American Express. It's a nightmare. But you'll get an email confirmation instantly sent to you, as you do with any sort of online purchase. My mobile phone will get an email to it saying you have a web sale. One of the 2 tills that are in the shop are both PCs, the PC-based tills with touchscreens. So an email will come through to them. And definitely in the initial stages, I'm going to have a very audible noise. So the music that's playing throughout the store will break for a second while it just goes ping. So anywhere in the store, I can hear that ping. That ping means I've got a web sale. Me or one of the staff will instantly walk to the computer, or I'll pick my phone up, and it will say, oh, 1 Storm Raven, 1 Land Raider, Tactical Marines, and Terminators. I'll go and pick them physically off the shelves before a customer can come in and buy them. My stock's already gone down on the computer anyway because it's all integrated, so all the web purchasers can't buy them. I'll take them off the store, and the kiosk area is massive. If I'm honest, there's like a big deep chest, like a treasure chest behind the till area, where one side's going to have cardboard boxes, the other side's going to have filled boxes ready for the couriers to come and pick up. And it's manageable then on site. If I get to a point where I'm sending that many web orders out that it's a full-time job, then I'd have to employ someone. But I never, ever envisage me getting to that. I think I would need more shop floor staff before I'd need more web store staff, because I'm not going to be the cheapest out there. And
fair enough. Yeah.
If I'm only 12% off retail and Element or whoever are 20%, they're going to be cheaper, so they're going to get more business. The difference is with mine, the way I price my stock. I come from the motor industry, selling cars. Teaching people to sell cars, and I used to troubleshoot motor dealers. So I'd go to an Audi dealership and I'd assess what they were doing wrong in the sales team and make it right, to put new sales processes in, sort the stock profiles out, and etc. And one of the things I always did was what's called funny money. So any garage that I was part of, you wouldn't go in and see an Audi A5 for sale for 32,995. It'd be 32,764. That was the price on the screen of it. Because when you look at it, it looks like it's cost price. It looks like it's a cheap price. It's a weird set of numbers that don't make any sense with normal psychology. So you think it's cheaper. You can't work the percentage out in your head for the discount either. if it's a round number, it's easy to work out what the discount is, but it's just a weird number that's used. And then when you measure me then against, if you do Google shop on a box of Space Marines, it might come up with Wayland being the cheapest, but then including postage and everything, you know how they work on a Google shop screen. The fact that I don't charge for PayPal and I give free postage at 30 quid, I might actually be cheaper. At the very worst, on an average purchase of 35 quid, at the worst, I'm going to be £2 more than Wayland, maybe 3 quid. And I think I am worth £3.
Well, I mean, from what you're saying, you're going to have the stock, aren't you? I mean, Wayland, they seem to stock a lot, but it's not all there, is it? You know, you can order it, lovely, but if you want it now...
And it's because they're too busy.
Yeah.
It's not because they haven't got the stock, they're taking that many orders they can't maintain. They've got the money for the stock, they just haven't got... They've got more customers than they've got facility. Wow. And that's because they're discounting at such heavy rates. And that's what I was saying earlier on about. I don't want to be a busy fool. Because I don't know, do you remember Total Wargamer?
Yeah.
And Maelstrom was the other one.
Maelstrom got stung by them, yeah.
Well, Maelstrom, when GW changed their trading policy and they said that you can only sell within your country, and in our case within the EU, they lost over a third of their business overnight.
Did they really?
And they couldn't afford to trade anymore because it was because the margin was that tight, because they were giving that big a discount. The margin was like literally a couple of % on the product that they were making. And if you lose a third of your business and you're still only making that margin, you can't go backwards. That's the other. If I start off with 10% discount and it's not good enough, I can increase to 12, 13, 14, 15%. What I can't do is start at 20 and then come back to only being 15 or 10. And too many people try to do it that way around, and it just doesn't work, mate, does it?
No, this is it. Like you say, you sort of see these web stores come and go, don't you? And I suppose it's the strong that thrive and survive.
Yeah, and you've got to have or you're meant to have a bricks and mortar store now to be able to get a license with most of these distributors, and then you're only meant to be able to sell within the EU. Now, there's absolutely nothing stopping me having a Games Workshop trade account and selling you a product and then you selling it to somebody in America. I can't stop you doing that, but I can't sell it directly to America.
Yeah.
I could buy it from myself and sell it to somebody in America. But at the minute that any suspicion is risen with Games Workshop, they just cease and desist you.
Wow.
And if they ever take if I ever lost Games Workshop, I'd have to close my doors, I think.
Yeah,
over half my business, easily over half my business.
Is that what it'll be? Yeah.
I reckon so.
Yeah.
It's got to be. It's the big player in the market. The way I'm setting the store out, as you walk into the shop, that whole left-hand wall is Games Workshop.
Yeah.
The whole right-hand wall is everything else.
Wow.
So if half of my shop set up for Games Workshop, then surely half of my business.
Yeah, of course, it's right, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, it's where everyone tends to start, isn't it? And it's just these independent hobby stores like yourself that get people into these other systems, don't they? Because you can go in and look and touch and feel and like you say, demo the games as well, so you can get a chance.
That's it. How many times have you been into Firestorm and you've said it on your videos yourself, where you've been in and you bought something because there was a bit of a discount on it and you saw it and it just looked good?
Absolutely, yeah.
You don't buy it on the internet because it looks good. You buy it because it's physical, it's in your hands, and you just go, "Whoa, I want this." And then you're like me, where you'll pick that up and you go, "Well, that looks good. I'll tell you what, I best buy some of these expansion blisters as well."
Absolutely.
And then actually, I need the stuff to go on top of them. And all of a sudden, you've gone in there with no intention of buying anything, and you've walked out 100, 200 quid later.
With the whole range, it's a sickness, isn't it? I'm a bit of it's usually by the one thing, by the main game, and you've got to have all the expansions.
That's it. And I am relying on customers like you who come walking into my store. some people have said I'm crazy opening on the high street. Southport isn't a city, so it's not like Liverpool city centre. It's a seaside town. It's an ageing seaside town,
Right.
but it's busy. And when the sun's out, the football's massive. So by opening on the high street, yes, I'm going to be burning a lot of customers. I'm probably going to convert. I'm working on a 30% conversion ratio of traffic to sale. And what I'm going to get though is parents with children, or just couples who are walking past and they see either Star Wars or something that catches their eye and drags them in.
Yeah.
And they'll walk in, and I'll probably sell more board games than I'll sell anything else, because they're the sort of things that people can just pick up and play.
Yeah.
You know yourself, you're a big board game player. It's
Yeah.
easier to get into that than it is to get into a tabletop.
That's it.
System.
It's all, yeah, it's all complete, isn't it? You know, you just buy it, take it away, job done, isn't it? It's
But even that sort of idea is changing, because you're getting Imperial Assault and Zombicide and Mars Attacks, where yes, they're all contained in a box, but now the second wave comes and the expansion comes, and Prison Break, the Zombicide, and that.
Absolutely.
They all come. You've got to believe one of my front tables in the store is going to be a 3x3 table with a Zombicide board set up on it, and Zombicide boxes, not on shelves but around the table. Because zombies are often now, everybody loves zombie movies at the moment. They're so on point. I need to capitalise on that. So I'll have 10 boxes of Zombicide in my shop.
Yeah, and I mean, Zombicide's the one to have, isn't it? I think at the moment it's the most popular one, and like you say, the opportunity and expansions and stuff. And for those people like with the sickness of that completionist thing, the more expansions you've got, the more they want to buy. Which that's me anyway.
Well, it is, and we just, if you're into the hobby, you spend on the hobby. From your point of view, it's cheaper than rockets. So actually,
indeed it is.
You've come down in your spending. So
I'm saving money.
You've got a good argument. Mine's not. To be fair, there's argument to say that if I had to say I replaced a hobby, I replaced my guitars with, and although you buy a guitar and you don't need to buy another one, if you've got that addictive personality where you spend money, every time I went into the guitar shop, I'd be coming out with just, I've got packets and packets and packets of like novelty plectrums, like of different bands and stuff, like £10 a packet, where like you'll get like an Iron Maiden box of them, or a Guns N' Roses box, or a Pink Floyd box, and then you buy extra little bits for your guitar that you're never going to use. But you buy pedals and stuff, and then you buy more guitars, and they take up more space than plastic now.
I suppose the initial outlay on a guitar is much more than, like you say, a box of whatever.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm looking on the wall there. My main two guitars, I've got a Les Paul, which cost me, I think, £700 for the guitar, and then the case for it was like another £150, and then my amp was like 300, but my acoustic one that's next to it, that was £1,000 guitar. Now that's not expensive. It's not a cheap one. It's like a mid-range one. If I wanted the Martin or Taylor equivalents, it cost me £3 or £4. If I wanted, I've got an Epiphone Les Paul. If I wanted the Gibson Les Paul, it'd be £5.
Bloody hell.
Easily. Jeez. And the quality is there. You can hear it. If you can play well, I can't play well enough to justify that sound, but they just sit there gathering dust now. I play nursery rhymes to my daughters.
So you're on the way to the Warhound, the Warlord Titan, then, if you parted company with them, maybe.
Well, basically, yeah. It's that sort of thing. So I replaced them with minis, and you saw the video I did just before Christmas of what I've got that's unbuilt and unpainted, and the Forge World stuff alone. You know the cost that's involved in that. I'm kicking with my toe now the Warhound Titan in a box, because I'd said to you, that for Easter
Yeah.
I was going to build the Titans. And
Obviously, you've been busy.
well, yeah, basically the store took precedence, and it's still just sat in a box. And I'll do it one day.
Yeah.
But I won't have any time when the shop opens. I'm never going to have time to build and paint my own models when the shop's open.
No. You'll have to take it down and just have an ongoing project behind the desk or something. I don't know. It's,
I'll bloody send it down to you to do.
I bought a Sarastas Night from my last little foray to Forge World, and it's in the bag. Bought that a couple of months ago.
I thought you'd started that.
I washed it. Where is it now?
Yeah, because you did a video and you did wash it.
There you go. That's it. I've clipped it all to pieces and I've washed it. And that's the Sarastas. So it's not a little bag. Yeah, 170 pieces.
It's daft.
Ridiculous, really. Ridiculous.
Well, I've got a Reaver that's part built because I started doing green stuff work on it to make it more navy.
Yeah, I remember you doing that. Yeah.
Part built. I've got the Warhound that's not even been out of that. I've not even took a piece of resin out of the bag. It's just in the box, in bags in a box. I've got a Fire Raptor which is part built. Got 3 Dimas pattern Predators, which is like 50 quid a tank, still on the sprues. Yeah, and that's nothing. There's a Thunderhawk which I've still never finished, and I just think it's criminal. But you don't care because you move on to the next project, don't you? And
well, this is and you never want to paint or build what you've got. You've got to get something. You fancy doing something else, don't you? It's always the way. But like you say, it comes around, doesn't it? And you want to build the Demos or the Titans at one point, and you'll just get the urge to do it. But,
yeah,
whenever it takes your fancy, doesn't it? You know, it's
some questions just coming in, Mike. So I'm going to answer them. So Chris, Ready for Battle, said that he lives in Norway. I didn't know that, to be fair. And he's too comfortable in his job, so he's not going to leave it to start his dream. but he is buying a Warlord Titan. It was inspired by Mammoth and Titan Legions. The good thing with the Warlord is you buy it in sections. You can buy it as a whole thing, but you can buy the body, you can buy the arms separately, you buy the head separately. So
can you really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I think the idea behind it is you buy it, and then whilst you're building and painting that one, you're saving up for the next piece. It's almost like a part work, but makes it more affordable. I think also so that your bank balance your bank statement doesn't show Forge World £1,200.
That's a big outlay, mine, isn't it? It's such a daunting project as well. I mean, like you obviously see the one Chuffy is doing for
Sinzarin,
yeah. It's I mean
it's massive. Well, one of the lads in my club, he's bought one. He's had to pre-order one, and it's en route, and he's got the head that's not available yet as well because his mate works in Forge World and he'll do well with it. He'll be happy. But this is the guy who has got 4 Reaver Titans, Night Lord ones, painted all those Night Lords. I think he's got 7 Warhounds. Yeah, Brass Scorpion. He's got more money than sense. No kids, funnily enough. And when we had our big apocalypse game at the club a couple of months ago, we had 96,000 points for our team. And between me and Chris, I think we supplied about 70,000 points between the two of us, and then everybody else brought their little bits in. And we were just sat there with on one table, and I was commanding. I had 4 Reavers, 4 Warhounds, a Lord of Skulls, a Brass Scorpion, a Fellblaze, and sort of like all big Forge World stuff. And I was just commanding this little unit of super heaviness. And I had to take out something like 20,000 points worth of Imperial Guard and tanks, and they were just going pang, 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 pang. They were just blowing up. It was hilarious. But yeah, so he's getting one of them. What's the next one? There's a load just come through. Chris is asking, is there any focus on the collectible card game market? My fixed roaring trade on it and have 2 evening next week. Yes, I'm going to be doing CCGs, obviously Magic, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh. There are other card games out there as well, which I'm going to be stocking. Apparently, there's one. Let's see what it's called. I wrote it down here. Which I've been told it's a good one to sell, but you need to keep it off the shelves because it's an over 18 card game.
Is that?
Cards Against Humanity. Apparently, you've got to have a certain kind of humour to be able to play it. Like it's when you're building the deck, it touches on really raw, just unpleasant things. I don't get it completely, but people like it. And I don't know much about it. I don't know much about card games, full stop. But yes, and I'll be doing Friday Night Magic as well, because that's a thing. I don't understand the card market. I don't understand the card games because I don't play them. But the main lad that I'm bringing in as member of staff, he does. And the interview stage, if you like, for getting a job with me is, what games do you play?
Of course.
If you can play games that I can't play, I need you. And that's one of the big things. He's a War Machine and Hordes player, the main lad, and I don't know how to play those games. I've got to learn how to play so many games. It's going to be. I've got a copy of Bolt Action on its way to me. WarGames have given me a copy at the start of the set, so I've got to get that painted up, and I've got to learn how to play Bolt Action. I've got to learn to play Drop Zone Commander. I've got to learn to play Infinity. I've got to learn to play Dead Man's Hand. I've got to learn to play Malifaux. I've got to learn to play War Machine and Hordes. All these games I've got to have at least a basic knowledge of, and they're all more or less the same, aren't they? It's remembering the little rules between them, but your customers pick you up on, which is fine. Nolsey, will your store sell magnets, airbrush, and compressors? Magnets, yes. All the hobby suppliers are magnets, green stuff, block, terrain, basin materials. Green stuff I'm going to sell by the inch rather than in packets, because I think it just works. I buy it on eBay by the inch, and I think that just makes more sense. It's cheaper to do it that way. Airbrushes and compressors, no. And the reason I'm not going to sell airbrush and compressors is it's such a personal thing. An airbrush, I wouldn't sell the Chinese ones that you get on eBay because I don't think they're very good. The compressors are fine, but I don't think the brushes are very, other than using them for varnish, I don't think they're very good. And I use an airbrush that I will always guarantee no other wargaming uses. I use a Grapho, which is now owned by Harder and Steenbach. And it's a strange little airbrush, but I love it. But you probably wouldn't be able to use it because it's so different to what you use. But then what you use is different to what somebody else. So I could stock Badger because it's a big brand name, but then I'm selling something that it's too big an investment. Airbrushes, I would have to stock Harder and Steenbach, Iowata, Badger, the Neos and stuff like that. I'd have to stock. There's 5 different price level brushes from each manufacturer, and I'd have to stock all of them for each one of them, and I'd end up just having a load of airbrushes collecting dust, because ultimately those are the sorts of things that people do just buy online. I'd potentially look at selling airbrush accessories and like spare needles and nozzles and stuff. But again, it's a big range of stock to carry, and there are so many dedicated online stores to airbrush stock that I don't think I will have access to airbrush in the store. There'll be ventilated areas with booths and compressors in the hobby area for people to bring. So all you should need to do when you want to come in is bring your airbrush and your model. I've got everything, and your paints obviously, but the rest of the kit should all be there for you. I think but then there's cleaning it all out. It all gets a bit funny with airbrushes. But magnets, definitely, full range of magnets of every shape, size, and strength. I think you probably get yours from the same place as me. My guy's magnets, all magnets on eBay.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
He's cheap as chips, and he's got everything you could possibly want.
He really has, isn't he? I mean, the massive range of
And
so
and
any shape, size. Yeah.
I expect to pretty much have what he's got behind the till. So you will be able to. Because the vision with it is not even so much for me physical customers, but my online customers. If I buy something online now, so I keep saying box of marines. If I buy a box of marines online, I then have to go on eBay to go and get my magnets, and then go on a different eBay shop to get me flock or whatever. I've got to go to 3 or 4 different people just for the one thing. I want to be a kind of a one-stop shop where you can get everything from the model to the glue to the accelerator to the magnets. It's all available.
Yeah.
Because fine, I might only make 20-30 pence profit by selling you 50 magnets, but it's 20-30 pence profit that I wouldn't make if I didn't stock them.
Absolutely, yeah. And then you become known as the one-stop shop there for everything.
Well, that's it, and it spreads more when you come back then for bigger purchases, and you just always, and if you always pick magnets up from me, that 20-30 pence, the profit that I'm making on the magnets goes towards the postage. It's a cost to me that I give you free postage, but it costs me money.
Yeah.
So it's all those things that just they help. So I hope that answers that, Ozzy. Yes to magnets, no to airbrushes and compressors, because it's just it's too niche a market with too much money involved that would sit stagnant. Ready for battle. I was lolling at the new airbrush Forge World, no need for them. Yeah, quite right, cover that. Clayton is awake. That's how long we've been on. Australia is now awake. Morning, gents. I am up too early to say anything clever. There's a million comments I could throw back at you about ever being able to say anything clever, but we're good mates, Clayton and me, so that's fine. He knows what I'm like. I am determined when this store is up and running and successful that I am somehow getting Clayton over here to run a painting masterclass from my store, because I'll sell the tickets out instantly if he's here, because his painting's that good a standard. He desperately wants to come over to the UK, particularly Liverpool, because for some stupid reason he supports Liverpool Football Club. So I promised that either me or my wife would take him to Anfield, and I'll do a painting masterclass, or he'll do a painting masterclass in my store, which obviously I'll sell tickets for, and hopefully that will pay for his plane ticket. So watch this space. Clayton in the UK. Craig McHugh sounds good about the online. Cheers, mate. Ready for battle. If you've got Infinity, I will keep my promise and buy 2 armies from you. He did say that, actually, to be fair. Ready for battle said that they've stock Infinity. He is going to buy 2 armies from me. So I'll get them in the post to you in September, mate. Because I will be starting. And then, Nolsey, been a pleasure watching. Look forward to your next video. So, good night, Nolsey, and thanks for your pledge. Because he's off at that point. What have we got there? One more message. No, that's a reply. Ready for battle again. I have played Magic the Gathering since '94. If I didn't live in Norway, I would be your man. I think basically you need to leave your job, move out of Norway, come through to not so sunny Southport, and I can give you a part-time job. That sounds like an attractive deal. But yeah, we'll definitely get you over the way for some battles. It's 5 to 1, so that's 4 hours that we've been on. So I'm going to call it at that, if you don't mind. I could chat to you all night. You know very well, of course. And we will 4 weeks.
Well, indeed, yeah. We'll catch up and have a
only
couple of
4
beers.
weeks.
Or more.
Yeah. I'm not staying in the Premier. I'm in the travel not over the road from you.
Yeah, it's only across the road, though, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm there obviously from the Friday. So when you get down on the Sunday, give me a shout. And I'm going to bring X-Wing down. I want you to have a game of X-Wing.
I'd love that. Yeah.
I know you said you're going to bring Zombie Side down.
Yeah, I'm just
have a little
going
game
to
of that. Yeah, it's just something to do with an evening. Whilst we're having a pint, sit there at the table and have a game, can't we?
Absolutely, yeah.
It's what we do. And it should be good crack. There's a couple of people that had to drop out, but then there's a couple more coming in. But I think there's going to be about 20 of us there.
It's a good number. That's a good number.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's yeah. Intimate enough for everyone to be involved, but not too, too huge, so people don't feel left out and stuff, but not.
I think the Royal Rumble's got about 12 entries into it, so it'll be fun. And I've got a few little things up my sleeve for the Royal Rumble as well. Just comedy things.
I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be
it's going to be a good way to finish it off, I think.
Yeah, that's going to be
after lunch on Tuesday. Yeah. And if there's only 12, that's again, it's a good number. It's easier to get through, because 30, if we would have got 30, that might have took all day. So 12 we can manage.
Yeah, that's really fun.
I won't give anything away, but there's just a few little fun bits to go on there. Your intro music's fantastic, by the way.
Are you going to have the intro music there? Are you going to have having all these intro musics playing? Are you going to have?
Yeah. So you won't know when you're due to arrive. How you will know that you're going to arrive? I won't turn around and go, "Oh, next in is Mike." You will just hear.
Nice.
In your case, you just hear dun, 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 dun. And that's how you know. Then you'll suddenly go, "Oh shit!" and you just get onto it.
Brilliant.
And everybody's got their own music. And then I say there's just a few little curveballs that I've thrown into it, because it's 40k, so you can't not have curveballs.
No, of course.
And then a prize at the end.
Yeah, it's going to be a cracking couple of days. It really is.
It's just it was only ever intended to be for us lot just actually put physical face to face and shake a hand and have a pint, because we talk to each other, we comment to each other all the time, but we never actually meet each other. I know Salute, obviously a lot of you met each other at Salute, but it's still very impersonal at Salute, isn't it? Because it's one day and you're trying to get around a lot. This is just, you play as many or as few games as you want. You're getting your first game of 40k. It's brilliant.
I know, yeah. I'm a bit nervous. I'm going to get my head kicked, don't I? But Mike Scott.
Oh, that's right, yeah. And he's played a few games, but he's not.
No, he said that to me. Yeah.
He's only played a few games, so that should be good. And I'll probably, because I'm not playing those 2 days, I'll have just done a 2-day tournament. I've just done 5 games in 2 days, plus I'll be playing on the Friday as practice games. I'll have an army with me, and I might end up playing a game, but I intend, I'm in effect, I'm the host, in effect, although it's not that. I intend to just sort of mingle around and chat with people. So when you and Mike are having a game, I'll probably come and not referee that game, but sort of like be the guidance to it, and sort of like, before you do something, I'll turn around and go, "Do you really want to do that? Let's think this one through." And I'll help both of you. I'll just make sure that the Nids win, because you've got blood angels.
I think it's only 1,000 points, I think, so it shouldn't be too bad.
Yeah, and that's what it is. It's keeping things simple. But it will. 4 weeks, that'll be a good crack. But on that note, I'm going to say thank you to everybody that's watching. We've still got 2 viewers, which is brilliant. We've had an outstanding amount of pledges. I didn't think we'd get any. I was joking when I called it a pledge-a-thon. And I've nearly doubled the pledge level, so thank you everybody that stuck with it and watched it. Anybody that's obviously watching it afterwards and has got 4 hours into it, thanks for sticking with us through the conversation. Put any comments that you want to in the box below, any questions you've got, pop them in there. If you want to privately ask me any questions, if you email martin@wargamesuk.co.uk, that'll get through straight to me for an email questions. And just let us know what you think, and keep pledging, guys. It's going to happen. I've got a good feeling after tonight that the 5,000 is achievable now. So let's get there and make it happen. And Mike, thanks for sticking with me, mate.
No worries, it's been a pleasure, and I'll speak to you soon.
I'll speak to you soon, buddy. Cheers, pal.
Awesome. Cheers, up.
See you now.
Ta-da.